So I'm going to start the meeting now at 4:33. Johanna is on her way, so it's myself, Katie Swede. And just say your name.
Oh, Linda Barbadoro.
Okay. So the approval of minutes, I did not get to that because the recording is not online yet.
Okay.
And I didn't want to misrepresent any of the minutes, so I will have them for next week. Here's Johanna, that's perfect.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, how are you, Linda?
Good.
Danny, would you like to go over your tree planting idea for the disc golf on Park Street?
Hey.
Hi.
So before Nikki, before her term ended, we've been working with Hugh on some finalization of some elements on the disc golf course. I think we need signage for rules, and we have a course layout that we've been kind of working on for the past year, in collaboration with some of the citizens that have been playing over there. So first page is my recommendations for course guidelines. These are based on Pro Disc Golf Association rules. So if you want to go over those, and then talking with Hugh on the second page, I don't know if we want to try to get if we want to get a main sign for the course on the, I think it's Department of Wildlife has a sign there that says you need their approval to post anything there.
Okay.
But
That's in the corner, like on the side of the pine trees?
yeah,
Okay.
so a lot of people, when they come there and they're looking for where the disc golf rules are and things, they usually look to that sign.
Mhm.
So that could be a good spot. Otherwise, Hugh had recommended kind of using the same, or we had talked to him about using the same signs that they're using for the no parking on grass. I think those would be good because they're semi-permanent, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'd need any other,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And-
So obviously I'll suggest.
Can I just ask a side note question?
Sure.
Those are missing, right? Somebody pulled those up?
Yes, so again, we had talked to Hugh, we had found one in the forest and we had given it to him. He was supposed to reinstall it. I don't know where that is.
Can I ask this question?
Yes,
I didn't know anything about this.
okay.
I don't even know what this golf is, but this is on Pine Street?
Over on Park Street.
Park Street.
In the town park. So there already exists 9 disc golf holes. But there's
Oh.
no signage or course layout yet. It was something I've been working on with my wife when she was still on the.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess at this point, these are all just suggestions for me and things that she had talked about.
Okay.
It's up to you guys.
I had recently, I don't know, it was like a couple months ago, put something on the agenda to go over the disc golf course with the signage.
Okay.
Because I had gotten a couple of public comments from people, just saying that the course is kind of in the way of the playing field, so people playing on the field, it's a little too close.
Right.
And I actually have a friend whose brother is a professional disc golf player randomly. And I just said to them, hey, next time your brother's in town, if you can run the course and just give us some pointers on like what makes sense, you know, for this space. But
Sure.
I think it would be helpful to put out a survey or a public comment thing to see what we get back from people who are using it or.
Sure. So the initial layout for the course I did with my brother who's part of the PDGA. And then I live across the street from the park, so I've been talking to people who play there every day. I've been talking to the crew that goes out there to play soccer. So this one, on this map, I tried to overlay the park. It's kind of hard to see, it didn't print very well. But you can see on this layout, the whole intent of it is to avoid the soccer field entirely. It's to avoid everything that exists there. So this was kind of the initial intent of the layout. I've also talked to some neighbors who aren't very happy with a couple of the holes. So there's 2 maps here. This one's easier to read, but the second one has the underlay of the park. First map, these suggestions again by people who play here, And we had talked to Hugh about one of the holes
Mhm.
moving, which is out currently staked. I don't know if that got a dig permit or not.
Okay.
But
You know which one it was?
so that's for hole 3. It's
Okay.
up at the top, the blue.
Yep.
one. So that was the proposed new location. And then, again, just working with my brother, he's part of PDGA, and with people who have been playing the suggestions on, Nikki had told me that you guys have like a tree allowance for National Grid.
So,
So
yeah,
the
national,
orange markers were suggestions for tree locations that would work nicely with the course.
and it's only 5 trees.
Yes,
Okay, that's not as many as I was expecting.
Excuse me, is this the soccer field right here?
yes.
The soccer field, so you pull in the parking
Did you
lot.
consult, did you happen to talk to Pablo?
Are there
who's
schedules for when people come here and when people come there?
Johanna's close.
What does he
He's,
like?
I never met him, but I think
Okay.
he's running the team that's.
Oh, the soccer, yes.
Yeah, the men's soccer.
I have, I'm not sure if I've talked to him, but I've talked to several.
Soccer,
people that
the
seem
goal.
to
I see the
be
goal,
Someone
yeah.
in charge of the soccer, yeah.
Okay, because I heard that, I don't know, there was concern about that, the playing being in the middle. Did you talk to them and get their feedback and see what they say or?
A little bit, but yeah, I mean, the whole, like, the point of having the course layout is when, right now, people are going and they're just using it as a practice course and they're throwing it wherever it makes
Mhm.
sense for them.
So,
So if we had an actual layout and signage for all the holes, this completely avoids the soccer field.
But when do we have a finalized course?
I mean, I guess it's up to you guys. This is what I had come up with, again, based on everyone I collaborated with, but the only thing that's final is the baskets are in pretty permanent locations, so.
Can they come out and get moved if need be or?
They could, you would probably need to buy a new sleeve, so basically the post goes into a sleeve, which is they're in concrete, the
Mhm.
sleeves are in concrete, so a lot of discourse, other discourses, what they'll do is they'll have, alternative locations for baskets. So they'll have multiple different sleeves in the
Mhm.
ground, so they can move the baskets to different sites.
And the concrete's enough under that the mowers and stuff doesn't hit it, so that's
Correct.
not a problem. So right now, basket 3 is right there,
Yes.
and you want to move it there. Okay, and you staked it for dig safe?
Yeah, there's a stake.
There's a stake.
still.
Do you know if anybody called dig safe yet? I can,
I don't know, like we
I can-
talked to
yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay, that's not a
The
problem.
only one that did it.
Yes.
Oh.
And everyone I've talked to is happy with all the other locations except for, of course, soccer. When the disc starts getting thrown in this direction through the
Yeah.
field, they don't want that, but
Yeah.
But maybe we can put another sign over here that says, don't throw across the field that way or
sure.
something.
So my thought was that you'd have a map at the beginning of the course.
Yep.
With the course rules, and then every tee location, like in golf, wherever you're supposed to tee off from would then get another sign. So I have examples of what a signage would look like for each tee,
Mhm.
which then shows the. And I'm happy to help. I can pretty these up if you guys want me to. I can continue to help to create signage for all the holes. But
I would like that because I don't know anything about disc golf. Because it is a sign, I do believe I need to, after this is all, like, we have a set plan, I think we do need to run it by, the planning board.
Okay.
Um,
I'm concerned as the field manager, how we're gonna manage, I've got teams like lined up to use the space all year round.
For
except
soccer.
Winter, obviously, for soccer.
Right.
So, are we gonna have a time frame which people can play disc golf that they, because I have people playing all different times of the day, different times of the year, so how are we gonna mitigate that?
well, as it's laid out, if this signage goes in and people follow the rules of the course, the course evades the soccer field.
I guess my question, sorry, I'm trying to rephrase, the distances between the tees and the field, are they far enough away? Whereas if you have a beginner who's just like not very good at throwing it, we're not gonna run into the problem of them trying to play and being really off.
No, this is something, so this is a big part of the layout with everyone I've been talking to and how we come up with it strategically. All the picnic benches for soccer have been moved here. So where your throw would be more errant is where you tee off. So all of the baskets aren't gonna have errant. So if you have an errant throw from here, it's gonna go somewhere over here, over here. As you get closer to the basket, the likelihood of a throw being errant is very low because you're throwing it very softly.
Do you
So
have an idea of what the distance is between the field and the tees?
the soccer field,
Yeah, like, because you don't have the soccer, or is this is in soccer fields, or can you orient me on this?
so going on this one, you can kind of see the underlay here.
You can see the goals.
Yeah,
It's not set up like that, but the goals are more like here and here.
okay,
So the soccer field is in this space here.
okay.
So the whole, I mean, the goal of the initial layout of the course was to avoid the soccer field entirely. We could always put on the rules, like if a soccer game is taking place, that this course is unavailable, if it became a concern.
I think we could plan it better where we don't have to limit people playing. I mean, we want people to use it, paid money to put it in, but I think we just need to have a better idea if, of the distances, so we need to like move things out a little bit so we don't run into that problem. But if you could redo this map where you put the soccer field in as well as the distances between the soccer field and the tees, that would just help me at least figure out what the field, so we can try to, adjust the court. Before we get signs printed, we should definitely have a course finalized. And before we do that, I think we need to have, a real good idea of what the distances are so that,
Sure, and I mean, I would also suggest, you said that your friend's brother's a pro disc golfer. If he wanted to come and play, maybe show him that map and let him have his thoughts on the
I
layout.
know, I'm hoping he does that. I don't know how often he comes, but I've been asking him, like, hey, can you have him run the course and get some feedback? But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with keeping it the way it is, but I'm just concerned with trying to, manage the fields with this disc golf. Hopefully people start using it more. I haven't seen anyone down there, but not to say that people aren't using it.
Oh, I
but-
see him. I live across the street. I see him there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's slowed down in the heat, but before it was getting really hot, it was.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm really glad about that because I want people to use it.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to get any complaints from the soccer teams because, like if there's people playing and.
Have you gotten complaints from them?
Well, I only have one team, that's played since it got put in, and it's the men's league, and they play at night.
Mhm.
So they're probably just not butting into each other, but in the fall, it gets way more busy. I've got multiple teams using using the space, using the fields at different times of day.
Mhm.
So I just don't think we've had a lot of run-ins yet.
Yeah,
But-
the course was in last fall.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think who we had last fall.
Yeah, this was put in early spring.
I thought it was in
Mid-spring.
spring. Yeah, I
Mid-spring.
thought it was
of
this year.
last year, right?
Yeah, so it's already done a full season without complaints.
Well,
good.
I mean, I have to check my email. I haven't been able to check it in quite a while. But I do, yeah, I just think if you could just redo this with the soccer field and the distances, just so I can visually look at it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful. Just to make sure that we are, it's gonna be permanent, because it sounds like once you put these, the things in, that you can't really move them. I mean,
So the baskets are semi-permanent. What I was saying about the signage, so the signage determines where you throw from. I think it would be smart to use signs that are even because if there was an issue, it's easier to change where you're teeing off from than where the basket is.
Yeah.
That's just my suggestion.
These are tossed?
Which,
Yeah,
It's like a small frisbee.
Oh,
Yeah,
and it goes in a hole.
it's a basket, so
It's a
it's on a pole and it has chains. It's about this big. It's,
Oh, and it's above ground.
yep,
yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
soccer.
And people, I guess, bring their own little.
they are, but that's
Oh, I wanna
not where
try
they've
this.
been using it.
You have them?
This
Where do we
picture
have
must have been
these things?
taken like
Buy
off.
your own.
Buy your
So
own.
where
You need
they
one.
actually are, there's
Buy them at the
a
council.
net here and then the other net's about here.
Gonna bring the senior center down there? Oh, I think that'd be fun. I would do
I don't know, it's hard to
that.
judge distance with this.
Yeah, I would
Just
drive
throw it on a pickleball
roughly.
thing.
It's small. So
That's close enough.
you had to just guess how much.
Yeah, I don't see how it could possibly go in there unless they were really bad.
Between the field and
That'd
the
be really,
basket, the
really
tightest
good.
one to the field
I'm
is
not worried
this
about
one, and I
I
would
mean,
guess it's about 30 feet away.
I think it's great that he's doing all this and putting the signs
Oh,
up.
yeah, even the tree.
We have to pay for the signs, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
Edge
we're
of the
not-
soccer field.
Of course.
Okay. It's just hard to tell without the soccer field on here, but if it's, we're talking 20 to 30 feet, then that's probably gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I've played this course probably 100 times, and I've played it with beginners and more advanced people, and I've really paid attention to where the discs go. You know, you're trying to avoid things going into the forest. You don't want anything going into the skate park or the playground. I think this is a very smart location. I definitely, if you have anyone else that wants to give feedback on it, I also.
I think you've been putting in a lot of time and effort into this, so I guess the only issue is just getting what, a dig safe
Signs.
Yes.
and signs.
Yeah, so we need the dig safe for basket 3, which I can do. I can call them. That's not a problem. And then just let me know what sleeve I need to order.
Okay.
Um,
They might have gotten extras. So when they
Okay.
ordered,
I'll ask
I know they got
Christine.
9 baskets, and I think they might come with extra sleeves.
okay,
And they were being stored at that warehouse by the transfer station.
okay.
So I guess they're still there if they have them.
I'll ask Christine. And then for the trees, the 5 trees. So National Grid took down a whole bunch of trees off of Clark Road. And for them to take down a tree, they have to plant a tree. So in our later discussions, I'll bring up that. But conservation and the tree warden needs to give the approval for any planting of trees.
Okay.
Do you have a kind of idea of what trees you're looking for, or take their recommendation, or?
Ideally, something that would be kind of fast growing, because the goal is, so the one on 8, the goal for that one is kind of to block that basket from you. I know a couple of the neighbors across the street there would be happy if that basket visually was
Hidden,
blocked.
okay.
Same thing with one of the ones on 6.
Mhm.
And then the other 3, like the point of them is to kind of be an obstacle in the course.
Okay,
So those ones, I think, you know, ideally the bigger the better. You kind of want them to be
bigger, better.
the obstacles.
It's right in the middle of your path.
Yeah,
That's the point. You like make fairways like a golf course where you have to like dodge
Thank
things
God,
and,
yeah.
you want to
I don't
go
need-
around the tree.
Yeah. okay. I know that they prefer native trees, so, I'll just see what kind of they would maybe recommend, if that's okay with you, unless you want to look up native trees and give us a
I'll leave-
recommendation.
I'll leave the
That's-
trees.
I could ask Jess too.
Yeah, that's more on our jurisdiction.
No, conservation has to give an okay, and the tree warden gives the final okay.
Make a recommendation.
Yes, we can. Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Jess lives next door to me. She is the conservation tree native person.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and then what's her name?
What is her last name? Jess and Hamaro, that's all.
Oh, Marston. Marston?
No, that's Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
This is Jess and
Oh, I know who you're
Hamaro.
talking
They
about.
live right on Cherry Hill.
They run the tree company.
There you go.
Yes, I know you're talking
And
about.
they do all native plant. Do you want me to ask her?
Yeah, and then maybe just so we can have a
I'll
few
give- I'll ask
ideas to
for a
bounce
few
off
ideas, sure.
of conservation and the tree warden.
Yeah. A lot of good resources in town.
Trees.
Well, thank you for doing all this.
Of course, yeah. And
Yeah.
like I said, if you guys want to get someone else in charge of signage, go for it. Otherwise, I'm happy to help. I could spruce these up.
Do you give beginning lessons?
What's that?
Do you give beginning lessons?
I'm still not that advanced myself. I'm
okay.
I'm mainly learning from my brother, who's very good.
Sounds like he's like,
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're ever out there, I live right across the street, I'd be happy to give you some tips. I think it's pretty fun.
Sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
I've been wanting to try it. The Sheffield Park was really nice. They had the
Yeah.
disc golf in the woods.
Yeah.
Some of those baskets are hard.
I just tried that one earlier this year. It was fun. Yeah.
It's perfect. Cool. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
continuing to help us with that project.
Of course.
We miss Nicole and everything she was doing for that.
Yeah. Well,
Tell her we said hi.
we're happy to still be involved.
Thank you.
All right, big day.
Thanks, Annie. Okay, the skate park discussion is topic number 3. I was over there meeting with Christine just to go over the to-do list, and the DPW boys, wanted me to noted that the ramps and everything at the skate park, they're starting to crumble and fall apart. So it's a safety issue at this point.
I just went over there today and looked at it.
Yeah.
They need to be resurfaced, like
So
smoothed out somehow.
they're recommending just the removal because they're, for how much it would cost, but also because everything has a gap or a lip.
Yeah.
You can't actually skateboard or rollerblade up them.
Oh.
So they were hoping that they can just remove them
Just
and then,
remove them.
and then
not
we
have
can-
any skateboarding park?
not that part, but you can still bike and stuff.
Well, I was there today and I actually met with, there was a professional inline skater there who was using the park and asked him, he mentioned the lips are, a little, things, but nothing that can't be like filled or the cracks couldn't just be like smoothed out. So I don't think getting rid of them entirely is necessary, but I definitely think there's like the little cement part that goes up the ramp, because of the freezing, the ground, it kind of came up a little bit.
Yeah, they did.
So they can just be smoothed out, even if we just took some sort of like tar or something and just put them out. I don't know, we can consult with somebody on that, on how
Is
to.
that DPW? Is that the Department?
No,
of
I
Public
think you
Works?
would have to hire somebody that
You would have to hire
professionally,
somebody to
yeah,
come
in.
something like this,
Great
yeah.
Barrington Skate Park.
That's all concrete pour, so that's,
Oh.
that's much different
Yeah.
than what we have.
Maybe tar over them or, just fix the lips itself, but, the guy had said that, there's a lot of the skate parks, the kids at the skate parks using them now are building, their own like rails with PVC pipe
Yeah,
and wood. And so he said it'd be great if our park had just more features like that we can leave out in the summer and put them indoors in the
Yeah.
winter.
yeah,
But we could.
it's just
build a
not
lot.
usable right now, so,
Oh,
yeah.
And the cracks need to be sealed.
Yep.
Now, the question is though, I had spoken to other members of the board from previous years, in particular, I believe it was 2022 in that budget. I have it here, but it's not itemized. So
2021, it was 95,000.
$95,000?
Yeah, so that,
Fix them?
so that was supposed to go towards, Pine Street Skate Park and the Main Street Tennis Courts. And it was super low budget that was requested, so it didn't touch most of it. So there's,
well, what did we spend the money on?
we spent $23,886 to resurface the town hall courts. We spent $47,500 for fencing on Pine Street. And so we are left with $23,614 that will not cover any of the other costs of resurfacing any of the skate park or Pine Street.
What about like one of those?
No, either or.
Either or?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just wondering whose decision was it to resurface the town hall park?
Parks and Rec.
What
Okay,
park are
so
we
they
talking about?
voted on putting
Basketball
out-
court?
Yeah, the
The
basketball
basketball
court
court,
and the
okay.
town hall tennis court, that
And the
was
tennis
resurfaced.
courts.
Yeah,
I see.
so
Yeah,
those
they're
were
used a lot.
resurfaced. And then the fencing on Pine Street, that came out of that $95,000 budget from 2021.
So just question, so the 23,886 amount went for resurfacing the town hall basketball court?
And the tennis courts.
Tennis courts, okay.
Yep.
And you're saying that the board at that time had voted to put that money towards town hall versus Pine Street?
That's what it sounded like from all the information I found. I could be wrong, but for that,
And that's from 2021.
2021.
Okay, I'm gonna go through all of the meetings that were recorded from that year to find out if that's the case.
You might have to go back a few years because there was a contract for Paredes from 2023. So you're going to have to look through 2 to 3 years worth of footage.
But if that money, okay, yeah, so you're saying it was allocated in 2021.
Mhm.
The contract negotiations happened in 2023 with Ferretti.
Probably, yeah.
But, who would have been the contractor that would have been contacted for resurfacing the basketball court?
I believe that would have been Ferretti.
That would have been Ferretti as well?
Yep.
Do resurfacing of basketball courts as well as tennis courts?
It's all sports, concrete.
Is he the one who's coming to pour the slab for the pickleball court?
No, that's
Or no,
tennis court.
somebody else?
Yep.
Is there a way to get, do we have a copy of that bid or that, that?
I have the copy of the quote that Paredes gave for the Pine Street Court in 2023.
Oh, great. And this is the one that was supposed to be for the 95,000?
This was going to go in for it would have been covered under there, but it got denied by the town because one, we didn't have enough funds for this. And also Paredes said they will not put a warranty or back up their doings because the top coat wouldn't have fixed anything and it would have cracked in a year and they weren't going to be liable or responsible for that. So they were going to do it as a favor to the town, but not back it up or put it under warranty.
Unless we rebuilt the,
The whole base up.
so his quote, oh, is this my copy?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you for printing this.
You're welcome.
So his quote just is for surfacing only.
This was just servicing back in 2023, which is, two years ago, which the courts have been
And so
far worse.
I don't understand
Mhm.
that, although we're using the best materials and procedure, besides a 2-inch asphalt overlay,
Mhm.
was that going to be included?
No, that's the top coat is that 2-inch.
And they're
Overlay.
not, they don't do that.
They do it. They weren't
They
gonna,
weren't going to guarantee.
they
it.
weren't gonna do any kind of guarantee or warranty.
This says it's for tennis court resurfacing only, not
Yeah.
for the basketball.
No,
court.
this was just the tennis court
For
side.
resurfacing, and that's for 58,000.
Mhm.
Did we ever get a quote for a bid on dredging up like the tennis court underneath? Like, did we ever get a
I
quote on that?
didn't get that. That was before all of us were on this board.
Okay, so how did it go to town vote without having those
I don't-
quotes?
I couldn't, this was before all of our time, so that, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so these are some big issues. There's a lot of unanswered questions, which we'll get into more of that, but even just with wait, what is this agenda item?
With skate park.
Skate park, yes.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, our skate park definitely needs to be redone.
I'm wondering if just a top coat, that $23,000 that's left in that would cover that cost.
Yeah, let's look into that.
Yep.
Because I think that there's not that many cracks. I personally think, when I was over there today, I didn't see any real structural issues with problems with the little skate features,
Mhm.
other than the lips.
Yeah, the lips are
Needs to be
concerning.
kind of, smoothed out. And I asked this guy who uses the park often, he's a professional, I said, what's your opinion on our park? What improvements should we make? Are there any concerns about safety? And he just mentioned the lips, but he said everybody likes the park.
Mhm.
If we added a few more features, which he said, build them for very cheap. So if we could even build a few things,
Mhm.
people would be so psyched.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there wasn't a lot of issues, just a few cracks to
Yeah.
fill. And
They just
So-
cost so much to fix.
I mean,
I'm shocked.
I think we need to shop around in that case.
Oh, absolutely. You
I'm
gotta
really
definitely
surprised.
do
Yeah, let's
procurement.
see if we can use that 23,000 for the skate park.
Yeah.
So we have that in reserve someplace?
Yeah, it's in a set account. Yep.
Awesome, great, I'm so glad, because Great Barrington has been having a discussion about that in their town, so I think it made me start to think, yeah, we need to get on this, because
Mhm.
I want people getting hurt.
Okay, so that's skate park. Letter to the select board about removing the bleachers.
Okay, was that your letter?
That's my letter.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
I love it and I
Okay.
approve it. For anybody that doesn't know, Linda is in charge of pickleball for the Council on Aging. And right now we only have one court in the gym. But if we remove the bleachers, we could have two for how popular it is and it's great for seniors.
Would this be on Pine Street?
No, this is in the
Indoors.
gym.
Indoors.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is downstairs, I think.
No, I know where the gym
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really, what do we use the bleachers for right now?
annual town meeting and they only use one side of it. But now that there are
People.
clickers,
Uh-huh.
people can sit anywhere because
Anywhere.
it's a clicker instead of a,
So
Yeah, you're
if we
nay.
could we had 13, 14 people show up for this, how to learn to play pickleball from
Mhm.
October to May, every single Tuesday. Nobody ever didn't show up. And there's only 4 playable spaces. It was, we had to ask for extra time to give people playtime to be able to, so basically I was there from 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 till
noon some
Noon
days.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets a long day. So if there were two courts and I have other people who help,
Mhm.
it would be so much easier.
Yeah, I'm in full support of asking the select board to,
And they have to redo the floors anyway.
Yeah, oh, okay. Did
So,
we talk to whoever, I don't know, runs the town meetings, just to run it by them to ask if that's gonna
well,
be a
that's what I
problem?
think this
It's the
letter is
select
going
board.
to do.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I sent that to both Michael and to the select board.
Okay, well,
We'll see what they say.
yeah,
I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. So I make a motion that we could submit the letter to the select board asking to remove the bleachers so we can add another pickleball court
Yay,
for community programming.
great. Am I allowed to second that?
If somebody does.
Second it.
Yeah, and I,
Third, all right.
okay.
Census.
Tree planting from National Grid at Bidwell Park. So if you look at your second page, this one, Johan, yep.
Oh, thank you, there it is.
So side A, that is what the national park people sent over.
Wow.
Because for every tree they took down on Clark Road, they need to replant. So they just took any open space in the town and were like, this is our proposal.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think it's a terrible proposal because that takes away all of the green open space at the playground.
Did they go through all the commissions, all the?
Yes and no. So
Yeah.
I found out being at a conservation commission for the town beach. So that's how I was aware of it. And I told the guy to email me. So that's how he got a hold of me.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
Yeah.
he actually never sent this proposal to Concom. I sent it over because they didn't know.
Oh,
On the back, if you look, do you see those yellow lines on the side?
Yes.
Those are the ones that Concom said that they would allow. And, of
This-
course, it's our final
This
decision.
yellow line here.
So it would
and here.
be these three trees, these little tiny ones. So those 4 trees, these 3 trees, these red ones, and I'll come over, Johanna, and those ones.
Okay, and this is the tennis courts up here?
Tennis courts.
And this is where there used to be a fence and then there's
Nope.
the,
So this is the playground.
this is the playground. Oh, okay.
Tennis courts would be, that's over here.
Okay, thank you.
I know it's really hard to read.
yeah. Great. So why, they took these out because of why again?
Telephone poles.
Okay.
So Concom approved these ones because they're right on the border and they won't interfere with anything. These ones are basically in the woods going down to the walk. And then these 3 and then those 4, because that's all that perimeter. And then everything else that's not hit would not go in.
The here would not go in?
Yeah, you can kind of see this little line
Okay.
going through those 4. So
Okay.
those 4 would be planted, but everything that's in the middle
Mhm.
would not.
Would not get planted. How many, I thought did we have 10 or 11 trees that we were supposed to get?
Oh, no, it was like
It says 46 with
46 trees they have to replant.
Oh, my gosh.
So if
So-
you take those out, how many are we?
So we have 1,
leaving?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. There's 26 trees that will be planted, but half of them are in the woods. And then the rest are right along the perimeter before you get to the
This-
opening of
This
anything.
looks like it's wooded already, or is that just the coloring here?
I think there's a few trees there already. So
Yeah.
this is going down to the Riverwalk. So this is
the
way
trees.
far back.
These are trees that are here.
Yeah,
So there's already trees there.
yeah. And I know there's some trees like here, or I think they look like apple trees, but they're not apple trees. But Concom was
I don't like
okay.
these trees. at
No,
all.
those are terrible.
Yeah, they're
It's right
terrible.
in the field.
Frankly, I don't care about these.
Yeah, these are in the field too.
Yeah, this is a field. I'd leave the
Yeah.
field, but I
So
don't mind
I'm
these.
okay with the ones that go along the perimeter, because that's where the
Yeah.
fence used to be for the
Sure.
baseball. So it's not coming in to anywhere where the
No.
kids are playing
Right.
or anything right now.
I just don't, I think these are in the way.
Yeah, so those aren't gonna be a thing.
Might be bigger area than I think, but
Mhm.
just from the picture, it looks like they're in the way.
Oh, God, yeah.
These don't bother me, these green ones down
Yeah.
here. These, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't like any of them in the middle there.
None of them? None.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm hoping to do something more
Oh,
than Bidwell.
oh, okay.
Mhm, yeah,
So then we'll just get, so does that mean they owe us 20 more trees?
somehow they owe the town,
The town?
so it could maybe
Not us, but the town.
the town, yep,
Other boards.
yes.
Do
Okay.
we have a final, like, a list of what we want? Like, can we still?
No, that's, so I'm not too sure if that's a ComCon question, but these ones here, it's white oak, red maple, something. Oh, that's existing tree.
Oh, existing trees.
So maybe
yes.
those don't count then.
So it's really just the white ones and the
Yeah.
red ones.
So, and then linden.
And Linden Plain, never heard of it.
Mhm.
Linden trees.
Never heard of
But
it.
basically the location,
Do we need any trees down at the other park? On Park Street?
for, 5 for,
There's gonna be 5
the
there.
disc golf, if we approve that and Concom approves it and the tree warden approves it.
Is that part of this 46?
It can be part of that 46
So then that would
number.
leave us with 15 that they would owe us.
Does that include
I
the
do.
trees that we're putting around the,
The pump station, no, not yet.
Different, okay.
Yep, so he hasn't gotten back to us with a plan or quote or anything for that yet. So this is the only thing we have to go off of for at least Bidwell.
Okay.
So I'm okay with those perimeter
okay with
trees
those
being
too.
planted.
Sure.
I'm fine with the layout, as long as none of those in the middle are gonna get planted.
Yep. Okay, so I make a motion that the location of these tree plantings stuck to the plan here would be followed. And I just
Do
need
you
a
have to
second.
mention, do you have to say with the lines? I mean, do you have to be specific as to
No,
which
because
ones?
Concom,
They have to talk to you.
well, they already voted on it last night for it to be okay, and they
Oh,
discussed
okay.
that. Yeah,
second
they had a
that.
meeting last
Yeah.
night.
Terrific.
Okay, perfect. So I,
Oh, let's see if he wrote me back again, yet again.
so the
To
adjusted,
vote on that officially?
she second, I eyed it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, she wants to vote.
yeah,
Yes, I will vote yes on that.
okay. The adjustable nets for the Main Street tennis courts.
Yes.
We're in the works, we're talking to do adjustable netting that can do volleyball height, men's and women's, tennis, pickleball. So we're just getting the information for that. For whatever reason, if that doesn't work, another option is doing like we have in the gym, but outdoor
Yes.
sturdy ones that, is the problem right now with the Main Street courts for the pickleball is that the pickleball net isn't, the tennis,
The tennis
Or-
nets are 6 inches too high.
Yep.
For the pickleball net. Pickleball net is 36 with a 34 center, and tennis is 42, and I forget if it's 40 in the center, something like that. But you're trying to teach yourself to put your shots low. And if you're looking at a 42-inch net and you want a 36-inch net, that's a big difference. It really is. So if we can fit a tennis, leave the tennis courts as is, say this is a tennis court and here's the net, and then fit the pickleball court this way, bring a portable net here, that would work. Or if we can leave the tennis nets here and just change the stands, change the bases so that they're adjustable.
Yep.
And I've been on this email for a little while with this gentleman. And he sent me videos, but in the video, it didn't specifically show the pickleball height on the adjustments. So I'm waiting for him to answer that.
I would also think wear and tear
Can
on.
I ask you a pickleball question?
yeah, of course.
I'm Mary Ann Miles. I live at 4 Pine Street.
Hi,
Hello.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I don't know. I
It's
just
fun when
thought,
people show up.
Yeah.
and I was told that there might be pickleball on Pine Street, which is, the noise isn't, I mean, I'm 100 feet from the court.
Mhm.
I don't think that's been a discussion about
Because
Pine Street.
it's like I can't do it.
It is, it's loud.
Instead of a tennis, which I played on that court
So there's,
for 25
Yeah.
years.
I don't think we
Yeah.
want to put a pickleball court there.
No,
You don't?
no.
No.
Well, then I've been misinformed.
Oh,
so
yes.
there's been public feedback,
Oh,
that people, because it's being talked about at the select board meeting tomorrow and
Oh,
the,
it's tomorrow.
so the select board, they don't have to vote on it tomorrow, but it's like,
Okay.
it's, they're going over people's requests and stuff. And some of the requests were, to do pickleball or tennis courts. So there has been mention of people asking for a pickleball court, so you're not wrong on that.
Okay.
But this is just, public feedback
Right.
and comments. So-
But the one thing I want to thank you for, am I interrupting?
No, Patty had something to say too, so I don't want to ignore you as well,
I
but,
didn't mean to jump the.
oh, God, no. No, please.
Anyway, I want to thank you for changing the back of the basketball courts, because it used to go boing,
Yeah, we got new basketball.
and it's really great.
I'm happy. I was your phone.
And the other thing is, our house is.
I
100
play
feet from the
basketball.
tennis
Oh,
court.
that's my change.
So if it was pickleball, I would hear it.
Yes, you
And you
would.
don't have plans for lights, do you?
No, and then I know,
Sounds easy.
especially with
Just walk around,
Cisco, they
throw-
had a lot of
Basket.
trouble because of light pollution and stuff like that, so that was never an
Good.
option that I ever heard of, so,
Yeah,
Because I mean, we had people, the courts belong to Riggs.
yes.
Yeah,
Yep, it's
And
not town
we've had
property.
people who live at Riggs who would come and play basketball at 2 a.m. and go, boy,
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's no reason they wouldn't want to play pickleball.
Yeah. No, I think there was a lot of concern about the parking, so.
We've had people parking in our driveway.
Yeah, so
Very important to play tennis.
Yeah, I'm putting together a proposal for an ADA compliant playground and maybe an exercise area in that spot, in that same footprint where the tennis courts are, if we don't get funding for the tennis court resurfacing. But in the plan, we would have enough room for 4 or 5 off-street parking spaces. So that will hopefully relieve some of the parking and people parking in your driveway.
Well, it's just, there are people who have different views
Yeah,
than we do,
yeah,
and they just do what they choose.
I know. Unfortunately, we could put more signs up.
Nuisance to those people, like, sure, we can do that.
They might have a sign at Home Depot you can put in on your own lawn
Yeah.
saying.
No, I don't want
parking
to do
lot.
that. I
Yeah.
want people to be decent.
Responsible, yeah, we could definitely get more signs too for that park, but yeah. There's a lot up in the air right now, but yeah, you don't have to worry about pickleball. I don't think that's gonna work for
Oh, but
lots
And
of
we're gonna
reasons.
have courts over here, so how many courts?
Because you can park here.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Katie put together a
There's
nice.
probably a bathroom here.
there is a bathroom here, yeah, and a water
Yeah.
fountain that's right
Indoor.
here in parking, yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
And on August 18th, we're gonna break ground to install a soft court, pickleball court that duals
Here.
as an ice rating.
So this is like, somebody just told me a little horror story that isn't true.
well,
Well,
it's
it's-
just rumors, that's.
Yeah, it's people,
Okay.
some people did request pickleball courts to be installed over there. And people requested tennis courts, and people requested to give the land back, and people requested to do a passive recreation. So it's just a bunch of people's opinions, which we all love, and it's
Yeah, it's a democracy actually.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just people ways of expressing what they think will
Right.
fit best in that
Well,
space.
it's the closest person to the tennis courts.
Mhm.
Because the Stevens house is an inn.
Yes, yep,
I think tennis is great. I played there and I enjoy it. And pickleball has a different sound.
Yes.
It's like a boink.
yes.
Yeah, it's a hard ball. It's
Mhm.
a harder ball, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie put together a nice proposal that we're gonna be, like she said, breaking ground on pickleball. So we'll have pickleball all covered over here.
Here, okay, so.
You don't have to worry about that. I'm hoping the tennis
Okay.
is gonna do
Oh, good.
that.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Well, thanks for coming. It's nice to meet someone who's actually a close neighbor and get your feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, of course, and
And it's fascinating to see how careful you are about what trees. This is Stockbridge. That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
but the select board, it's on their agenda for tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night at what time?
6:30.
6:30 on Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. Should I show up?
I don't know if they're doing public comment or they're just kind of,
I don't know. I
don't see why it wouldn't hurt to show up, just think,
I would look at their agenda first to see if it's on the agenda, Pine Street.
Would I look at that?
Yeah, you can look at that online.
yep. So you go to the town website and under calendars,
Okay.
look at tomorrow's date, you'll see a select.
Do you have a copy here? I could just look at it?
have to print one.
In the hallway, right
Yeah.
outside of the clerk's office, you'll see the selectmen's agenda posted.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, lady. Should I go away now?
if you like, or if you
stay if
want to
you want.
hang out and chat with us about the other things on the agenda, you're more than welcome to.
I'm not concerned and I know less about that than I do about.
You might learn something.
Yeah.
There's
I
always.
did learn something. Thank you.
I know
All right.
Patty had something to say as well.
Oh, I'm so glad that someone, comments about the pickleball. about the noise. Some of the people don't
Thanks for
think
coming.
now.
Yeah,
But also the, so, you know, the people, a lot of the people who were suggesting pickleball for Pine Street.
Yeah.
It was because they actually don't know that it's going, that there's already plans underway
mhm.
to go in on Main Street. So they were just like, I love pickleball, but the town, they just didn't know that, like, the town already heard that. And
Yeah.
they're already doing it, so like.
You might
they were
not
saying,
know.
you know,
So,
So there it is.
your committee solved the problem.
Yes, a problem we didn't know that was a problem.
No, didn't even think
Yeah.
about it.
Just doink.
I agree.
Like,
Not a big,
noise.
the
A
noise.
lot,
Yes.
a lot. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Of course.
Good day.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll just look more into the adjustable nets and then go from there.
I've got one more email coming from him. As soon
Okay.
as he puts it in print that it is adjustable at 36.
Well, I just have one question.
Yeah.
So in terms of wear and tear, would it, in price, like what is the price of the adjustable
idea.
versus the ones you move around? Because I would think, I don't know, I guess both way, it could go both ways. The adjustable one,
Mhm.
you know, people tear up those things, especially using them. Is it gonna, how long are those gonna last? Are they warranted
They,
for a certain
there
amount of
idea.
is a
time?
warranty on them because they warranty all their products. But that's something that Linda's
I'll have to
gonna
ask
find
about the
out.
warranty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, ask about the warranty
Yeah.
and also like what's gonna be, you know, in terms of like lasting and
Mhm.
making the money stretch.
Yeah, I like the adjustable because they do the volleyball height and there's a group of 6 kids that in the summer, like every other night, they ricochet a volleyball net on the
Where?
tennis court. On
Up here?
On Main Street, yeah.
On the cement tennis
Yes,
courts?
they do like, I don't know if it's plywood or something, but they somehow do
How about that?
it's really cool. I think they're in high school.
Oh, they must really like volleyball.
They do. It's
Oh.
three girls and 3 boys, and then they take turns and they do 2 and
Huh.
2. My kids love watching them.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, so that's why I like the adjustable that can do
Absolutely.
badminton, volleyball, things like
I will
that.
tell you, these nets last a long time.
Mhm.
The net in the gym now was ours, the volleyball net, and I think we put that in about 35 years ago, and it's still in use.
Mhm.
They take a beating.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well,
I
yeah,
have one
that's
on my outdoor court and
They're still
decades,
okay. Okay,
decades. yeah.
great. Well, just that's the only thing I would ask, but yeah, I'm sure we can, I'm sure you know a lot more about it than I do.
Well, there's always room for more information.
Yeah, just, you know,
Yeah.
good to ask those questions.
Okay.
A Pine Street discussion.
Ooh.
So this is, we can do this or we can't do this. I just kind of wanted to see if the board, if we agree on something, to just do a letter recommendation from the Parks and Rec to the select board on
Select board.
what we would recommend the space to be or not be, or, and if there's something that we can't agree on, we
Well,
don't have
I
to
had-
do a letter.
I
or-
had some comments and questions for you on the ADA playground. And I gave it a lot of thought after I left. And I guess what I thought was, why are we making it remote away from the other playground? I don't quite
I had
understand
that same, and I
Well, I
mentioned
said this
that.
in the last meeting, but out of all 3 parks, when I had the playground designer come and she, you know, has contractors that put these parks in, that particular park for accessibility is gonna be the cheapest for building an ADA playground. And like I said, the footprint is quite small. So even if we didn't do tennis courts, we could fit an ADA playground and the an exercise, like you were saying, you know, the calisthenics exercise, outdoor exercise area, and an additional parking spaces, ADA, you know, handicap parking spaces or just off-street parking in that same footprint. So, but she said that just in terms of like, because at Averick Park, there's quite a long space. It's not level, Averick Park,
Interlake.
or sorry,
Oh.
Interlaken, yeah.
Yeah, it's full.
I guess it's known as Interlaken, but yeah, Averick. It's just, in terms of cost, it would be a lot cheaper.
To put it
Pine
up
Street.
there than it would down there.
Yeah, because here, like even the nice little stone walkway we put in, that was, I like, she said, you know, we'd have to redo all that to make it ADA, you know, and. I
So
don't think we wanna
ADA
do
would
that.
include like a wheelchair?
Yeah, it would have to be
Be able to-
wheelchair accessible.
Wheelchair is what it would
But
be.
you could
Okay.
do the parking right next to where the police park and do a flat walkway down to like the baseball
How many
field and do a
pieces?
whole brand new all-inclusive playground for everybody, so that everybody's included.
I like the everybody.
I do too.
I really like the everybody.
That's how I
Only
feel.
because I feel sometimes people who have disabilities are pushed off and not included.
I've spoken to a lot of, I mean, first of all, I just,
Yeah.
FYI, I'm an ADA disability advocate for the state of Massachusetts.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
So you
so
know,
I
you
work
know
in
what
the
you're
school
talking about.
systems. Yeah, yeah, I work in ADA. I'm advocate for the state with kids who live in state custody. So I'm very familiar with ADA stuff. And also I've spoken to a lot of parents, I should say a handful of parents, with children who are physically disabled. And that isn't so much an issue for them. It's more about like accessibility. How is it easy for
Right.
for the parents to park and for them to get their,
Yeah,
you know, their
sure.
student out of the car and, you know, to a space where they can play.
Yeah.
So that to them is really, you know, the sort of logistics of it are more important. Yeah, I mean, there are certain rules in terms of inclusivity, but that more applies to like in the classroom, like, you know, to learning,
Mhm.
not so much, you know, in terms of where to put parks. I mean, obviously that would be my first choice
Yeah,
to
I
have
think
it in
so.
another space, but we're talking like money and fiscally, you know, I think, and the fact that that park really needs enough, you know, a whole facelift anyway, we might as
The
well
one
do
over on
Pine
Pine
Street.
Street.
Yeah, we need to do, you know, I think we should
So
do
it's
something on that.
cheaper. It's
It would be
less
cheaper.
money to put an ADA playground there
Yeah,
and the exercise thing
yeah, we could fit two
than it is
things.
to put a walkway here and put pieces down, playground equipment down here.
Yeah, because for example, Town Park.
It's hard for me to grasp that.
Yeah,
It
so
seems like a lot of stuff.
yeah, no, I mean, I can invite her back if you guys want to, you know, have her back and we can do a walkthrough. She was here a couple months ago, but it was kind of last minute and
Yeah.
Katie couldn't make it. I think Nicole was still here. But yeah, I can invite her back to just do the walkthrough again if you want, but
Does she actually put the playgrounds together for people? I mean, is she the
yes,
person?
the company that she,
She's,
yeah,
oh, she works for a company.
yeah. So she's a vendor for a company called Miracle. And they do the design, they do the implementation, they have their contractors that will put it in and everything
Okay.
and architects, you know, that do the
I would just
structural-
love to, it's hard to grasp that
Yeah,
it would be cheaper there because here it's so green and everything is so pretty. And over there it
well,
is,
here we'd also have to make room for it, we would have to take out pieces that
You
are
have to
already
take
there.
everything out.
Yeah,
You
we,
would.
yeah, we'd have to
everything would have to go.
Yeah, we'd have to take stuff out. So I guess if like the other, you know, another conversation or ball I've been pinging around in my head is if we were to redo this playground, which I think is due time.
I think we should the board should focus on redoing Bidwell Playground and incorporating pieces of ADA accessible using the 2 levels from the ball field area and above.
How do we get them there?
You can do a really nice, pretty walking path that can go down, and on that walking path, you can do exercise equipment that's ADA
love
accessible
that.
and.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, but you know, if we're talking about money and budget, you know, that to redo this park, we're talking $200,000. So, you know, if we didn't, I mean, people are kind of penny pinching about
Yeah.
the park, keeping Pine Street. I mean, we're talking about a conversation for 200,000 to redo. So it's just, you know,
But also, we just approved for the select board to make the announcement for the OSRP, which we can get state funded grants.
Oh,
And there's also ADA playground grants as
which would
well.
make us easier for us to get the
Yeah,
bigger grant
and
if we got.
We can do
That would be
CPC, we can do
interesting.
capital,
Where would you
projects.
rather see the park? I mean, if you had a choice with your children, would you rather see them here in the green or, because I see that
with
as
money,
also
without
not.
money.
Without
not
money,
being an
without
issue,
even thinking money.
I would love to redo this
That's
part
what I'd like to
and
do.
make it like
Let's make that a
amazing
goal.
and then have the
Yeah.
ADA.
Let's make that a goal. See how
And I
much
want
it
a new
is.
playground. I mean, not a playground. I want a new baseball diamond.
Can we see how much that would cost us?
I mean,
And
yeah,
what kind of grants we can get?
there's a lot of grants, there's a lot of ADA.
ton, especially for ADA, yeah.
that
Is
you can do a
there?
lot of-
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah.
then-
I mean, I
like,
think we
we
should
wouldn't
go for
even
the
really have to
best
pay
thing
for it.
possible.
Yeah, I agree, I agree.
Let's try that. And
Money
then,
is no object.
and then the other half of that would be then if we did that, what do we do with
Well, that's a whole, that's on, I guess that's on the
I mean, we
agenda.
could
I'll
always
wait,
find
but-
something to do with it, or we could give
Exactly.
it back. I mean, and do
No,
nothing.
no, I don't, actually, legally, I don't think we can.
Oh, we
but,
can't give it
well,
back?
if
No,
we
you
did-
can.
I thought we
well,
could.
No, you
We'll get
can.
there, we'll get there. I wrote a letter on it and I have a lot of legal statutes on here. I'll talk about when we get to that, but
Okay,
I think if we can find something to do with
I
it.
would love
You
to
know?
make this playground
Yeah.
like the best play. I know as a grandparent, we would drive around and find the best playgrounds.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, also like, Stockbridge, we've had conversations, I mean, for the Affordable Housing Trust, right? We've had many conversations of like, how can we attract young families? I mean, our taxpayer base is getting old.
Yes, we
And
are.
we need to attract young families and, honestly, the entry point for any house in this town is, we're talking $400,000, right? So, we want to attract people to the town of Stockbridge. And a lot of these people are probably in their 30s and 40s, maybe have good jobs, but they probably have families. So, I've heard from a lot of people, like for the town of Stockbridge, they're disappointed in how sort of old our playground stuff is. And
It's
I'm
been there
like,
since I was in elementary school.
yeah, this park has been here for 40 years. Averick is even older, but I think there's a certain charm about Averick. But I think we definitely need to.
I didn't think it was that old. I remember they replaced it with the
No, it was when I was in
Coyotes.
elementary school, so it
Yeah.
has to be 30
Yeah.
30 years. Because I remember when they
They
put the
re-
swings in,
When
I
they
was in fourth
replaced
grade.
the stuff that was made with pressure treated.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I remember that
I
coming
remember when we
down.
put that in.
Yeah, I think it was like the 90s when I
That
was.
was a fundraiser by the school.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
it was a bunch of moms, I think, that
Yeah,
got
it was a
together
whole- it
to
was-
raise a bunch of money. And I
You
heard-
I was one of them.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There was, I heard that you guys were selling hot dogs in
We
the
did
corner.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Carla McCormick, her husband, was a builder and he put it together. He
Oh,
submitted the
wow.
design.
Cool.
And the PTA backed them up and we did everything we could
That's
to
awesome.
get that paid for. I know, so now I hear these figures about what it costs to put in
Oh,
a
it's
playground.
insane.
It's like, wow.
Nuts,
But there's
yeah.
so many
We
grants.
can sell
They
hot
last
dogs
forever.
again.
Yes, I know. That's a lot of hot dogs to
Yeah.
sell. But yeah, no, I think, well, now that we've got you said the OSRP,
Yeah,
that'll
we can
help.
get that started after the select board makes that announcement, and that's state funded grants, the ADA grants, CPC
I
we're
love the
allowed
word
to
grant.
apply for.
I really do love the word
Yeah,
grant.
and then just capital asset projects
Have we ever gotten a grant from these folks
for the pavilion
for the pavilion?
and the basketball court.
And the
basketball
pavilion
courts.
should be here by now, right?
The third down payment was accepted, so
Yeah.
now they're doing the design, and after the design, we pay another part for shipment, and then after it arrives, we pay the last bit.
So would it be
I'm
around
hoping
the
to be
same
in the
time as
fall.
when the pickleball?
It's gonna
court
be
is
a
up?
little bit, because the design takes a few weeks
Oh,
time,
okay,
and
so
then
it'll
the
probably be
shipment.
after that.
It's gonna be after, but I'm hoping it's before Halloween.
I would really love to have a little announcement and pickleball, well, when it's all done, just a
Yeah.
little announcement and have people come and see it.
Yeah, I think so, and
I would love to do
it's
that.
different from any court around here with.
Oh, it's
the-
different.
Yes.
It's definitely different.
Mhm. So we, as the board, can write a recommendation.
Oh, are we talking, so we still talking about Pine Street?
Yeah,
Oh, no, this is a much bigger conversation.
Uh-oh.
no, I'm getting back to the topic.
Oh, okay.
I'm not brushing over it.
I
I
just
just
don't-
got sidetracked.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just don't
sorry.
think we're really ready to make a recommendation if we
Okay.
haven't had a discussion about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did write a letter
Mhm.
to the select board individually for myself, but there are some points that we really need to be looking at as a board. Because this is majorly within our
You
jurisdiction.
did some writing, girl.
I did, yeah, so I'm just I'll try to skip through this. I think there's a lot of information in here that we really need to go through, so I don't know if you guys can give me like 5 minutes to read through this, I can try to breeze through it. Thank you so much. To the members of the Stockbridge Select Board, I write to you as a resident stakeholder of Stockbridge and as an elected member of the Parks and Recreation Commission. I'm submitting this letter in my individual capacity, and my views do not necessarily represent those of the commission as a whole. It's come to my attention that the select board may be considering whether to continue or discontinue the long-term lease of a privately owned parcel of land commonly known as Pine Street Park, which has served as a public recreational space in our community for more than 50 years. As a resident, a parent, and elected Parks and Recs commissioner that is heavily committed to our town's recreational landscape, I must express that any decision to terminate this lease unilaterally would be legally and ethically improper.
legally.
Why would it be legally?
Well, I'm gonna be getting into
Okay.
that. Yep, there's a lot of references here. Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 45, Section 14 clearly provides that powers for playground and recreation purposes may be distributed among the Board of Parks and Recs Commission, the school committee, the planning board, and such playground or recreation commission, or among any two or more of them. That's actual law. The interpretation of this statutory provision combined with the statutory construction rules under Chapter 4, Section 6 implies that if authority has been distributed, no single board, including the select board, may exercise unilateral control over significant decisions such as discontinuing a longstanding recreational lease over a publicly used park. It should be noted that the Stockbridge bylaws themselves do not assign the sole decision-making authority regarding recreational leasing to the select board. Article 3, Section 4 of the bylaws mentions that contracts are to be awarded by the officer or committee authorized by the town, which supports the notion of distributed or delegated authority. Additionally, the town bylaws reinforce this understanding in Article 13, Section 2, which explicitly names the Parks and Recs Commission as an enforcing person with authority in its respective jurisdiction. For example, the commission shares enforcement responsibilities with the police for recreational facilities, including the beaches and the Stockbridge Bowl Association. Moreover, Article 21 designates a Parks and Recreation Commission member as part of the CPC committee, responsible for decisions concerning the acquisition, creation, and preservation of land for recreational use. That would be you, Katie.
Mhm.
In other words, the implication is clear. The select board does not have the legal or structural authority to independently terminate the Pine Street Park lease, especially when that lease supports a well-established public park. This is not a procedural detail. It is a core principle of shared governance that protects the integrity of public faith in our town's land use decisions. There is another legal layer to consider here. In addition to the jurisdictional limits, because Pine Street Park has been used exclusively for public recreation for decades, it is likely eligible for supplemental protections under Article 97 of the Massachusetts Constitution, which safeguards land interests acquired or used for public recreation from being repurposed or relinquished without a 2/3 roll call vote in both houses of the Massachusetts legislature and a transparent local process, often including a town meeting vote. Under state policy and legal precedent, even leasehold interest, as opposed to outright ownership, can trigger Article 97 protections if the land has been dedicated and used for recreation for an extended time, as it clearly is the case here. Without a binding legal guarantee that the public access will continue after termination of the lease, they're referring to Austin regs. If they do not have a binding legal guarantee that public access will continue after termination of the lease, such as through a conservation restriction or easement, any such termination may be considered a disposition of a protected interest requiring full Article 97 compliance. That protection applies not just to municipally owned land, but to any legal interest acquired for public recreation, including long-term leases, so long as the land has been clearly dedicated to that use. Without a legally binding, I think that's a repetitive, without a legally binding agreement from the landowner that public access and recreational use will continue, the termination of the lease may be deemed a disposition under Article 97. That would trigger the constitutional requirement for legislative approval, and it would also open the door to potential legal challenges. Failure to follow this process could expose the town to legal liability and irreparable public harm. In addition to the many improvements of the town beach, the Parks and Recs Commission has consistently carried out its responsibilities by allocating board budget funds for structural improvements at our parks, including resurfacing of the basketball court at Pine Street, the skate park, new mulch, the repair and purchase of Adirondack chairs, picnic tables, benches, updated playground equipment, repainting of the playback wall with a meaningful mural, etc. In recent years, Parks and Recs has installed a new fence at Pine Street Park, as well as new backboards for the basketball court last fall. However, while our board allocates budgetary funding for park renovations, the authority to hire contractors and manage capital projects has historically been handled by the town manager. I urge the select board to review and rectify this arrangement. This longstanding misalignment must be corrected to ensure legal compliance and proper oversight of our public recreation assets. Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 45 assumes active, not symbolic authority for Parks and Recreation Commission in managing park operations. Accordingly, decisions regarding the implementation of renovation projects and the hiring of contractors should fall under the Parks and Recs Commission jurisdiction, not that of the town manager. A decision that could end public use of the land should not happen behind closed doors or at the discretion of a single board. It deserves public input, collaboration, community participation, and full legal transparency. If there is any consideration of terminating the lease, that decision must not be made in isolation. Such an impactful decision should be brought before a town vote, allowing residents to weigh in directly. This is not just a legal concern, it is a moral one. Given these facts, I respectfully urge the select board to acknowledge in a public session that the select board does not hold sole or primary authority over decisions involving recreational land use, including the Pine Street Park lease. Refrain from taking any action to terminate the lease without a formal collaborative process involving the Parks and Recs Commission, Community Preservation Committee, Planning Board, and if necessary, the school committee. Recognize the probable applicability of Articles 97 and the legal requirement for legislative approval should lease termination threaten public use. Restore operational control over recreational project implementation, including contractor hiring, to the Parks and Recs Commission consistent with statutory intent. Commit to a transparent, community inclusive approach to any discussion about the future of Pine Street Park. And lastly, fulfill your statutory commitment to open space and public land use by securing the continued recreational use of Pine Street Park for future generations. This is not a procedural formality. It is a matter of legal compliance, ethical governance, and honoring the lived history and ongoing needs of our residents. Generations of Stockbridge families have relied on Pine Street Park as a place to gather, play, and grow. That legacy deserves more than quiet unilateral action. It demands shared decision-making, public accountability, and lawful stewardship. As elected town officials charged with representing the public's best interest, I urge you to acknowledge the historic and ongoing value Pine Street Park provides to town residents. Generations of Stockbridge families have used and loved this park and still do. It is a vital part of our town's recreational heritage. Thank you for understanding and upholding these critical legal duties on behalf of all Stockbridge residents. Thank you for letting me do that.
You've done a lot of legal research here, girl.
It is my little side gig. But yeah, there's a lot of issues. I really don't believe that they have the legal ability to just unilaterally make that decision, especially without our board involved. But I also think that this is a huge decision. And I think it definitely, we need to table this conversation because there's so much that we need to know. Like if back in 2021 and 2022, the board at that time had allocated funds to say like resurface the basketball court. We did put in a new fence, we did the backboards, but resurfacing the basketball court, and I know the tennis court thing has been kind of up in the air for a while, but we could have at least resurfaced the basketball court. And you know, I just want to know where that money went. If it was allocated, why didn't it get put towards that? Why was town hall prioritized over Pine Street, especially looking the way it looks?
I gotta say that my only questions is overuse. When I come by downtown, I see hardly anyone on the tennis courts, but they are there. But I never seen a waiting line for the
Well,
tennis
that's
courts.
because the park hasn't been maintained in years.
No,
This one over here.
Main
Oh.
Street, she's on Main
Oh,
Street.
I'm talking
Oh,
Main
okay.
Street. The one over there, I have never seen anyone in.
Oh, we've
But
gotten emails.
I don't drive down that street that often, so I
Is it
really
a
don't
heat
know.
court?
No,
Oh, you don't?
I
thought
know
you
it's
did.
Cherry Hill Road.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, we've definitely gotten board emails from people weren't you one of the people who said you used the playback wall?
She used the playback wall, yes.
Yeah.
And I live on a street where I drive down that street
Yeah.
every day that I'm in Stockbridge. And when there was a net and the basketball, tennis, when it kind of surfaced instead of me,
Yeah,
people were there every single.
They
every
were
time I
there.
drove
Okay.
by.
but
I
we're
just never
also
saw.
installing a playback wall at Main Street as well.
But this is the one that on Pine Street's different. It's actually used by handball players, which is different. Handball, you need to have a cement wall. So I know we've had handball people email the board and we have had other people email the board. But either way, you know, we're elected officials. We're
Right.
elected to this board to preserve open space and parks. It is literally our statutory duty to vote, you know, to keep that park. You know, it would, if you have any inclination of voting to not keep that park, I really honestly don't think that you should be here. in my opinion.
I'm gonna disagree with you wholeheartedly on that statement, because if it's gonna cost $500,000 to redo that land, let me talk. That money is well spent on playgrounds and land that we own. That 400,000 can go to the ADA accessible playground equipment that we want to put here. It can go to the parking spaces, it can go to the trail. It could be better used in another place if it comes down to
Either or.
either or, yes. I mean, this could be a all,
If we
It
could
could
do
be-
all, that's great.
yeah, it could
How
be.
much money do we have?
Well, first of all, we've already allocated money to this park, and how long have we had this lease? 55 years.
Yeah,
We've
but
already
also
invested
it was only
millions of
$95,000 that were allocated for 4 different resurfacing projects without including labor in this cost, and then a fence that cost $47,000.
First of all, are we shopping around? Are we?
Absolutely, you have to if it's over $10,000.
Right, but we've
Open
only gotten
bids.
one quote. Where are the other quotes?
Go ask the town hall for it. How do you not, how are you saying that there
You're
was
the chairperson of this board. You should have that information.
I don't, because this was before my time.
Right, but you could, if we're gonna have this discussion and make an informed decision, you should have all the
You should
facts.
have it as well if you're
I
yelling at
agree.
me presenting this. So where was your duty researching where the quotes, the bids
I have them
were?
all right here.
Okay, where are the bids?
That we don't have the bid.
Why
That's the
not?
thing, because we don't do procurement. And
So
that's
then you
the
have to
problem.
call Mike and ask what the bids were.
Let's just bring it down a notch.
You're the one that came
Okay,
after
I'm
me
gonna bring
first.
myself down. I'm not trying to come at you.
You are though.
I just made a strong
Hmm.
statement and I think you responded to it and
As a strong response.
I get it.
So
Okay,
you
I'm gonna,
won and I came back.
okay, I'm gonna bring it
I'm
down.
fine with bringing it down,
Okay.
but I don't agree
So,
with some
I
of
think
this.
Some of the issues that I've raised here, is
Mm-hmm.
the procurement problem, is that we don't get to follow through on projects and to see where that money goes.
No,
That's a
we
problem.
Do get to follow through if we keep up with it. If you say, hey, what were the bids that we got? Can we talk about the bids?
I've asked you and I think I've asked.
You've never
other
asked
people.
me for,
No, I did. No, I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm talking about, I've asked, I think it was you or it was either maybe you or Nicole, maybe it was, I don't know if it was you or Nicole, but I asked one of you, who was the contractor that, because remember when I raised the issue about, I was going to talk about the mural or
Mhm.
the playback wall?
Yep.
And you said, well, I don't know if we're going to be keeping that wall. You may, we're thinking about, you said there was a contractor that was being contacted about digging up the tennis courts.
yeah, Peretti.
And I think I asked you for the contact information.
I told Peretti.
I don't recall you saying Peretti.
That's the only person I know.
They pretty much do
But it could have
everything
been
around here
Nicole.
in all the
Okay,
cities.
well,
Yeah, it
why
could have
would
been
we-
Nicole.
Why would
I don't-
Peretti need to dig up the playback?
Well, if they're gonna redo the whole surface, you have to take that up to redo the whole surface.
Well, not necessarily.
You're
And
not gonna work around that. You'll take it up, redo the whole surface, and then you do a new playback wall on
I
top.
wish I gotta go spend some time and check this place out. I've honestly
Yeah.
drove by it and I see it and I just think it's a cracked cement with a lot of grass in the middle
Well, yeah,
and
it's been
I've never seen
neglected.
anybody
It has
there.
been very neglected.
It's been neglected, but I just don't see, I see a disconnect because our board has been allocating money to that park and I don't know why it hasn't been going to
We
that. park.
allocated it once in 2021, way before any of us. So from when did you get on the board?
2023.
So that's 3 years, 3 years right there, that there wasn't any follow-up. When you were on the board in 2023, was there follow-up on your board about where this money was or what's happening with it?
Well,
There's no questions from the board to be like, what are our next steps? So of course it fell through the cracks because there was nobody being like, hey, what's happening? What's new?
Right.
So if we knew,
Well, it seems like they just
Well,
decided that
the
the
only
other
person on the
places were
board at
more
that
used.
point-
yeah, so somebody had to have said, let's buy this fence.
so I spoke to one of the people that was on that board.
Yeah,
And that person was also wondering why that money that they allocated $8,500 specifically was the number he remembered. For the resurfacing of the park. That person did not know where that money went either. Like,
why didn't they ask?
because the problem is that the town administrator is the one who's doing all the procurement and we're legally.
Because legally, he's the only one that can
No,
do that.
Actually, it's not true.
You have to have a.
Legally, if you read my letter.
I don't know
outlined-
how much I believe of this because I haven't looked into any of these things. This
I've
could
never
be,
Look
seen
it
these
up.
either.
You can use these and you can all look this up.
I
on the
will look
internet.
it up because
And
this
you
was
can
just
look it up
thrown in my
yourself.
face and saying that
Pretty
this is
straightforward,
right.
Easy to read. You can look it up
I
yourself.
don't know about easy to read, but,
Well, I think the chapter 45 laws are really easy to read. They're
chapter
very
45
short.
of what exactly?
Mass General laws, chapter 45.
Mass
govern-
General Laws chapter, okay,
Yeah,
I
that
see.
governs Parks and Recs Commission activities.
So basically, this
jurisdiction.
is saying that rather than we don't want to let Michael and the select board have authority over the money.
Well, legally, we are supposed to have, we're supposed to be in charge of procurement for our board. However, that said, I did speak to Erica in Treasurer's office, and she did indicate that there was a reason why, like, I guess there was something that happened like before I even came around. When Michael was hired, that there was a big legal issue because when boards used to do procurement for themselves, there were, I don't know what board she didn't say, but there were a couple things that were like possibly going to cost the town millions of dollars and in a mistake. So they delegated the procurement to Michael. However, we don't have, first of all, there's no transparency, I feel like, but I feel like there needs to be more coordination between the boards, at least our board, with Michael on the procurement piece. Because I feel like I've tried to follow up on
Let me see if I
things.
understand. What is it you want him to say? You want him to tell you where the money is coming from?
No, I
and
just
where
want
it's
to be able
going?
to, no, I want to, so for example, if the board did in 2021 allocate, the figure was 8,500. I don't know if that's an.
95,000.
No, well, 8,500 of that, for example, was supposed to go for resurfacing the basketball court, which would have done would have made it look a lot better than it does now. And so that money was voted on by the board. So then that should have been followed through on. It should have been resurfaced.
Mhm.
So the question is, why didn't it get resurfaced?
And
So-
where's the 8,500?
Exactly. There's
So
another question.
The 8,500 would still be in that part of that 23,614,
Assume-
but it should be the board's, if the board went after it and wanted that to happen, why didn't the board say, hey, why isn't this happening, or where?
The
There
board
has
was
to
here
be
in
some follow
2021,
through. Yeah, there
right,
has to
right.
be
But my
some follow
point is
through.
that I can't be the only one who's been having this issue. There's other people that have been on this board for the last few years are you just saying that we're all incompetent and we're not following through? Because I feel that there's a reason why, like, I feel like the person who's in charge of procurement should be, they're a town employee. We're elected officials. They should be working for us to make sure we have all the facts and all the information. We shouldn't have to be going to them. They should be coming to us. They serve us. They're a town employee. We are elected officials. So there should be more coordination happening, and it shouldn't be left on our shoulders to make that happen. Right? There's a difference in powers for elected officials versus town employees. They have no power. They are employees, right? So that responsibility shouldn't be left on the last 6 board members that have sat on this board, who've allocated money for projects. And, if there's a reason why they didn't follow through, I'm sure. I know I've heard from 2 people. I'm sure there's more people who would say, well, there's XYZ reason they didn't follow through. I mean, we're not all that incompetent or unintelligent to be able to follow through on projects.
Okay.
So the question is, what's happening, right? What's happening? Why these things are not getting done when we've made allocations, we voted on them. When you vote on something, you allocate money from a board, that is legally binding. Like my mural project, for example, you can't just say, no, we're going to take the wall out in which we've already voted on a project. You can't just
We
do
never
that.
voted on the project.
No, we did.
No, you didn't. I
Yes, we did.
rewatched the video because you said that Nikki voted. She says she didn't
Nikki-
recall. She said she
Nikki
voted
did.
on for you to look into the project. I rewatched the minutes.
No, then you
Because we
watched the
were-
wrong one.
I
In
did
fact,
not.
I
Don't
remember.
tell me I didn't watch the right one.
I don't think you did because Nick
No,
and
Nick
I.
was sitting right here.
Yeah, and Nick
He
said
sat
no,
out because he
and
said he didn't
Nicole
want
and I
anything
said
to do
yes.
with it. And she said that she didn't have a problem with you fully looking into it. There was no discussion of money being allocated to your mural project. There was no plan. You
No,
just
we
wanted to
we
do
voted
it.
on doing it and
No, you
Nicole and I-
didn't.
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
where's how much money?
Because I didn't have the proposal
Because you
finished.
can't vote on anything without any money allocated to
Who
it.
said that?
Okay, so then how much is it gonna cost?
Well, I wasn't even able to do it because
Because
every time I try to propose it, you're knocking it down.
I didn't knock it down
Yes, you
once.
did.
I've been
You
listening
told me
to
there
it.
was some political stuff going on.
I did not say
Yes,
that.
you did.
I
I have
did not-
text messages from you.
I did not say that.
All right.
The
This is
mural
not
project,
productive.
the
It's
mural
not
project,
productive.
is that supposed to be on the back wall of the playback wall?
Yes. in
On the
Pine-
back
on
of it
Pine
though,
Street.
right? Not on the front of it.
On the street facing side.
And that's not the side that you play on,
No, no,
right?
no.
Right, okay.
No, no.
Yeah, it's side facing Pine Street.
Facing Pine Street.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna.
I would be fine with a mural if there was money, say, it's
Well,
gonna cost this much.
there is
this the
money in our
plan.
budget to do it, but
Yeah,
every
but-
time I proposed it, I've heard from you, oh, well, you should look into the Berkshire Eagle articles regarding the tribal
Well,
council.
yeah, because that
This
was
is all
brought to my
political stuff.
attention.
And I appreciated
So
you
I
sharing
was
that.
trying to help you out.
No, and I appreciated you telling me that, but I'm just saying, I believe it was voted on because Nick said no, and Nicole and I said, yes, we're cool with doing a mural. I don't have the details right now because I have to get in touch with Railroad.
And then there was nothing else to vote on. So there's
But
no.
we voted on
project.
going forward with it and doing it.
I would really suggest you rewatching it, because how I took it, it was that to look into it, but she said there was nothing, there was no money or anything discussed. There was no plan.
There wasn't a plan because
know.
the plan was just getting permission to do it. Because in order to do, I had to engage the tribal council
Yeah.
representative. I had to engage Railroad Street Youth Project. Railroad Street Youth Project wasn't exactly great at getting back to me. And then all this political stuff happened in the meantime. There was reasons, but when I presented it, I believe we did vote on just going the permission to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, go ahead and.
And the mural
did you-
idea was also to do an art contest within the tribes.
Yeah.
And that was all discussed in that meeting.
Yeah.
And Nicole said, yes, I'm fine, I'm good with that. And Nick said no, but it was a vote. It was a vote, 2-1 was the vote. That is my.
I
That's
was
not how
here.
it
I
went
know
back.
nothing about this
Okay, well,
mural
anyway,
project, but I wondered, did you ever ask, you want this specifically to come from the tribes, not from like the high schools? The high
Well,
school?
no, I mean, initially, the idea was a land acknowledgement mural, but, I.
Like with the
But
turtles?
thankfully Katie did bring up, well, no, I was gonna, the thing is, working with, the tribes and just trying to be culturally aware,
Mhm.
I didn't want to take, I wasn't trying to propose the actual art. That is something that I wanted to give power to the tribal council to decide for themselves within the tribes, to pick the art that best represents the tribes. And that, I was just offering the space and the opportunity to bring their artwork into town, into our
So
town.
that wouldn't cost anything, would it? I mean, why would
Well,
that
it
have
would,
a
it would
cost
cost,
involved?
it would cost money, to put it up and
Paints.
paints and everything, yeah. But, but thankfully Katie did alert me to, there was a lot of stuff happening politically that seemed like that wasn't, even though I felt like I believe my last conversation with the liaison was that they'd gotten permission to do it, but they needed like the measurements and more details. But a lot of stuff, I was waiting, I don't know, just a lot of parts that didn't fit up aligned
Yeah, because
together.
this was a time where we were talking about what it would cost to rip up the whole Pine Street and repave it and do it. So my view was wait on that, because if they rip up the whole thing, the playback wall comes up with it because they redo
Because
the
it's
whole thing.
concrete.
Yeah, it would all have to come up. And then if we were to go through with replacing everything, it would just be a new wall. So I was like, let's push pause on the mural, because if you do it next year and in 2 years it comes down, that's just a wasted mural.
I feel like we don't know what we're doing. with the
Nobody
Pine
knows
Street-
what we're doing.
yeah,
Well-
Pine Street Playground. I mean, everybody would love to put playgrounds everywhere and make them all work.
It's been a
and
park
different.
for 55 years. We are
Yes.
talking about generations of families who have
Mhm.
played at that park, who loved going to that park. We need to give them a vote on this. First of all, legally, I will challenge this personally, individually. I will legally challenge this if they try to make a unilateral decision. Like, I will do that on my own.
And that you
And I am,
absolutely have the right to
yeah,
do that,
I just,
absolutely.
and I, like I
Nobody's
said.
fighting that part.
Yeah, and I'm making you guys aware of all of these particular legal citations. You guys can look them all up yourself. And obviously we have town council, which you have
Yeah,
access to.
I'll ask this, yeah.
Katie has access to town council. We do not, as the chair. She's the chair. And I do think that to do our due
We can
diligence.
or we cannot.
You can't, no, it's all elected boards,
I
only
see.
the chair
Only the
can
chair.
reach out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just think that we owe it to our constituents, the people that put us in this seat right now, to dig into this more and to really, chase down where that money went and where the fracture is and what's not happening and to fix it. Because that park for a lot of people is meaningful. They've had generations of children raised at that park before we had all this nice stuff at the town hall park. I just think that, I do think the voters should have a right to vote on this. And I think that it is our statutory duty as Parks and Recs
Are
officials.
there ADA grants that would cover the putting in an ADA playground there?
Yeah, that was my whole idea, was
There
to
were
propose,
grants.
that's another reason why I wanted to propose it there, is because it would clean it up really fast and we'd get all this money from the state and from corporations to clean it up and make it look good, you know? So, you know, there's a lot of things that we could do with that space. We could put it out to a town vote to see what what ideas other people had. You know, I think it's our job to
Oh,
do
here's a
that.
townsperson.
Patty?
Katie's only been the chair for like 10 minutes. Who was the chair prior to you, Katie?
Nikki.
Nicole.
And then before that, it was you.
No, I've never been the chair just because I'm way too busy. If I had known it's a town, you get access to town council, I probably would have voted myself. But no, Nicole, and then before that was Nick Fredzall.
Sorry, I just wanted a clarification for the context of this conversation.
Yeah, Nick was on the board for quite a while. Nikki was also,
I don't know.
5 years.
Somewhere in a newspaper article, I think I scanned where they said that the idea of giving it back was a reality as well as fixing it up, and they were undecided. But it wasn't coming from any of us. It
No,
was, did you read that article? Did I make that up? I didn't
I
make that
didn't
up.
read.
I
no.
saw it in a
Where-
newspaper article somewhere.
Yeah, well, depending on I wouldn't call Berkshire Edge a newspaper, but, I don't know, but all I know is that I think there is a lot of legalities involved, that I've outlined here that I encourage you guys to consult with town council or even Google some of this stuff. It's not hard, but, I just think that it is our statutory duty as elected officials to preserve any open spaces and parks that we have.
And it's your belief that there is money in our budget somewhere,
Absolutely.
$8,500 at least.
Oh, yeah, we have $20-something thousand, $23,614 that never got allocated that we could repave at least the
So do we
basketball
have
court.
like bookkeeping that is actually says this was allocated for this park, or do we just
Yeah,
have,
you
we
can,
do?
yeah, you can
Yes.
call and ask.
And who's
Yeah,
that person?
I mean,
Talk to Mike Canales.
Oh, Mike.
So I
Mike
didn't
Canales,
have-
I forget his last name.
Patty, you had a
Right.
question? Okay.
I went through like 5 years of town annual reports, and there is, it's a little mind boggling. I'm not a numbers person, so I tried to circle as much stuff, but there's a lot of information. We have all the information, at least where what money was allocated and what was spent. So the question, the missing piece for me is if our board voted on and allocated money to, say, repaving the basketball court, why didn't it get done?
I don't think we can answer that.
Not
'cause we
today.
weren't here.
None of us
Exactly.
answered
Well,
that,
we can
yeah.
find out the answer to that easily. We just need more time. I feel like this
Does it
conversation.
really matter why or?
Yes,
really?
absolutely,
Yeah.
because, Austin Riggs, understandably, they have every right to, technically we've broken the lease, right? We've
Yes.
broken the lease. And I take it personally that, I'm on a board that, a lot of hardworking people who do care about the parks, who have allocated money, we've done our job to allocate money to Pine Street, and something's missing. It didn't make it to Pine Street. So I want to know why, right? We got to figure out what's the missing link here, because I don't think it's worth losing a park that we've had for 55 years and that we could potentially do some amazing things with. We already have the money. It's not a matter of not having enough money to fix the park. I certainly would not vote to do any project that would cost $400,000. But at the same time, Katie, you proposed a project that cost around $200,000 just last meeting.
Yeah.
So, $200,000 is a reasonable amount when you're talking about capital improvements for a park. That's normal. But we're not, to inflate numbers and make it sound unreasonable is not fair. To say it's
Who's
400, 500.
inflating-
You did, you said.
I was told it would cost about 400,000.
And whoever said that is first of all, obviously,
Well,
has,
did you get quotes?
I didn't get, no, I'm working on
So
a
then how do
proposal
you
right
know
now.
that 400,000 that I was
I know
told is
for a
way out
fact,
of?
I know for a fact it will not be 400,000.
Okay,
I know for a fact. In fact, it won't even be.
There's a quote, because they talked about it the last select board. So
Yeah.
I was
Okay,
just actually.
so if we're talking, depending on the contractor, if it was through Landscape Structures, I'm guessing it's probably gonna be $400,000. Yes, that's exactly why I'm not working with that contractor. Because I worked on another playground project that, I initially started working with them, And the numbers that they gave me, which I thought were normal, but everybody laughed me out of the room in the Affordable Housing Trust Committee, including the town administrator who made a big, in fact, Carol Owens wrote something about it in the Stockbridge updates. Oh, Johanna proposed a $200,000 playground project. Well, no, actually I didn't. I offered 3 different options, 3 different price points. The $200,000 one, which again is a very normal price when we're talking about redoing a playground. But at the same time, that was like the dream project. That was like, if we had all the money available, which the idea with that was in that particular contractor, they have a whole department that tries to find free money, corporate money, like Gates Foundation gives
Who
money.
has that? What department is that?
The contractor that I'm talking about is
Oh.
landscape structures and.
Sort of like the people at the, who are gonna
O'Brien's,
do
sorry.
the workout place.
Yeah,
They had their own people who did,
Yeah, who found
Grants.
grants, yeah.
Yeah, so I should say O'Brien's is the contractor and they use landscape structures. But yeah, they have a whole department to help people, towns find free money for like ADA playground and stuff. So it's great to work with a company like that, but at the same time, their prices are way more inflated than for example, the other contractor that I found after that contractor didn't work out. I found one that's much more reasonable and the equipment is very high quality. In fact, they have put in a majority of the parks in Berkshire County, this other contractor. So I know that I could come up with I can probably do 2 things in the same footprint for less than $200,000. So I think that, we need more time, to dig into some of the questions. Where's the disconnect with our board and allocating money and trying to make sure that we have follow through on projects? Like if I want to call a contractor and get bids for, resurfacing the basketball court, I should be able to do that.
why can't you do that and then present that to Michael?
You can. You absolutely can.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, I
right.
think that everybody
how
can
I
work
found-
I
together.
could, but it's not that simple because in order, first of all, they have to be state approved contractors. I think it's FAC 45 is the name, and that's for playgrounds. So actually that may not, I don't know if that'll apply to like, say, hiring somebody to resurface the basketball court. It may or may not, but state contracts you can only choose from certain contractors. And in certain towns work specifically with certain contractors.
So wait a minute, I'm a little getting confused with all the contractors. So if we found a contractor, though, we would have to also get one that was a state approved contractor. Is that
So in
correct?
other words, like I can't just like call out of the
Right.
phone book, right?
Right.
I can only work from a certain list of people. It would be much easier if we could just coordinate with Michael to do the procurement to say, okay, can I have the list of contractors that I can call to resurface the basketball court?
Oh,
So I can get different quotes.
There
but
isn't
I
a
can't-
list anywhere online?
There is, well,
Oh.
I don't know about online, but each town has certain contractors that say they have a relationship with, they've worked with before. And, so it would be good to know that. I think
That's a
Call and
phone call.
ask.
That's just a
That's
phone
a phone
call.
call.
I've
Right.
always found
I'm
him to
just
be
saying
easy to work with. I mean,
yeah,
I've asked
I'm
him
just
for a
saying
lot of
that,
stuff.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm not the only person who's had issues trying to get that info. Like,
Yeah.
it should not be, he should be coming to us and actively working with our board to follow through on those things. Like, I feel like the ball just gets left in his court because he takes on a lot of things. And then, and then we're just kind of like, oh, we're just going to assume it's going to get done. But then, obviously things are not getting done. And so I think we need to have coordination in the very least. I mean, that's statutorily, legally, that, it is our jurisdiction to do that, to do procurement. So, I mean, they have to work, he has to work more with us.
Have you asked him for that list?
I have worked with him on other things,
But have you
yes.
actually asked him for
Well,
that
all of
list?
this, I just became aware of any of this, like
Oh,
literally
okay.
on Thursday of last week.
I just feel that,
So-
if you actually just drop him an email or a phone call.
I will, but I
Yeah.
literally, last week he wasn't even in the office. So
He was on vacation,
I tried
yeah.
emailing him and calling him and he never got back to me. So I'm
He was
just.
on vacation, which she has.
Yeah.
the right
Yeah, he was
to
on
do.
vacation. So all I'm saying is proposing that we need to, as a board, right, this is our job, right? This is
So
why
let's
we're
just
here.
do that. Well, let's just call him up and leave a message and ask him or put it in writing. Writing is easier.
Yeah,
And just ask him this simple question of, we're working on a project. Can you give us a list as ASAP of the
Right.
contractors we're legally allowed to use.
Okay.
That would be our first step,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, obviously,
And
yeah.
then we could get an actual figure
Then if, yeah.
and then
absolutely.
a plan from that. But if
Right.
first we need the list of contractors.
Right, and I want to be able to, but yes, yeah, I think we should be more involved in the procurement process so that we can follow through
I think
on
that's a whole
projects.
separate issue.
That's a whole nother
To be
thing.
honest with you, it sounds like a separate issue.
It is, and
But
it's.
the issue of the
and-
contractors?
Well,
I think
that's all,
that's-
it's all
yeah.
part of procurement. It's all part of procurement, I believe.
Well, I
It's-
think though, if we ask him, because we want to talk, we're allowed to talk to the contractors, aren't we?
You
No.
can call
Yeah,
anybody and
we
get a
can call
quote.
Anybody and get
No,
a
you
quote.
can't just call anybody and get a quote. It
No?
has to be, no, it has to be state-approved contractors that were.
But that, as if they are the state approved people.
Right, but I
We
don't
can
know who
vote.
those people are.
There's our letter.
That's exactly it. So
We're
my-
good in a little
what I'm
circle
saying-
here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying in my letter, is that we just need to have more coordination on the procurement piece, because legally it is our jurisdiction to do that.
I'll call.
So I'm gonna propose in
I
my
will
letter
call Michael.
that we need to have more, just more coordination happening on follow through on these projects.
Ask
Because
for
I just feel like it's not fair for our board to be in this position where,
contractors.
we've allowed one particular park to go by the wayside when we've allocated money to improving that park. And now we're at a point where Austin Riggs is like, hey, we're gonna take back the lease if you don't do
Oh my
something. And it
goodness.
sounds like they don't want to do that. They're not trying to do that, but at the same time, understandably, they're worried about liability and somebody getting hurt at that part because it's not being maintained.
But one of the problems is that we didn't, the board didn't ask for enough money to get all the projects done. So it's not like we had all the money to get these projects done.
Yeah.
We had a fraction of the cost to do
Well, this
all
has
the
been going on
projects.
for a long time. This
Yeah.
isn't a brand new problem. This is.
Well, I don't know where the $95,000 came from in terms of why did they think that would be enough
But that got
money?
split up to 4 people?
Yeah,
Four
at four different places.
So when
Yeah.
you split that up to 4 places, it's all of a sudden not so much.
Yeah, but even 95,000.
I think you're on to
But-
something with the contractors. I really do.
Well,
I think we need to know that in order to call them up and get bids to do what? That's our next project.
There's that,
What do we wanna
and I
do?
want to track down if we had $95,000, why did town hall park get prioritized when Pine Street's been neglected for years? Like, why,
Maybe
who's
it's
making those?
use. I mean, I'm guessing here, but I would think it would be use. But I'm guessing.
I have a guess, but
What's your
without
guess?
calling Mike, that the 95,000 wasn't gonna cover it, so why have the money sit when you could take that 95,000 and improve stuff that needs to be
We
improved?
could have resealed the basketball court, we could have done the there's a lot we could have done in increments, right, while we were figuring out the tennis court situation, but
But how much do we know how much it would have cost to do the basketball court? Cause if it's the same year and everything that the tennis courts were made, that probably would have had to get dug up too and redone. So that
Let's
could have been
find
more than
out.
a nine,
Let's
yeah.
just concentrate on this one little spot on Pine Street.
Yeah.
And find out, who can make, who are the people who can make bids? Let's find their numbers first. Before we call them, let's us sit down and say, well, ideally, in an ideal world, what would we like to see there? And ask them for those bids. Then once we have the bids, then we can see how much money we would need for that and how much would it be to do the same thing here? Because right now I feel like we're just guessing.
Oh, absolutely.
the thing is though, if they're gonna be talking about this tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Which I really don't think they should talk about this tomorrow
Well,
without
no,
our board.
I think they can because they've put it out there for the last few weeks for people to send in their ideas and proposals.
Oh, yeah,
So
I
they
saw
are
that.
getting town
But-
feedback.
Right, okay, but they're not
Maybe
getting
that's
our
where they
feedback.
sit.
They're not getting our feedback and we're not
You
prepared in
can
my.
send your feedback as a,
I will, but I'm saying as a board,
Yeah.
I think we need to do our due diligence and answer these questions and come up with some other plan, alternative plan in our statutory duty to our
Isn't
being
this a
elected
plan?
officials, to our constituents to try to save the park because
But
it is our
isn't this
duty.
the plan? To find out who we can use to do the work?
I can't
And
do
then
this like I said,
I'll call
nobody,
Michael.
first of all, let me.
I'll get in touch with him and get the list.
But let me just point this out.
Okay.
Why, if this conversation's been having for 3 weeks, why am I just finding out about Thursday? Why were we not contacted to our town email 3 weeks ago when this issue came up, saying, hey, this is a conversation. Why weren't we brought into this conversation? This is our board. This is our jurisdiction.
I think this was in the newspaper. I do.
I don't
think
read
it
the
was in
newspaper, but like this could have
Oh.
been an email or like Katie
Yeah.
could have texted
More
us and said,
personal.
hey, you know,
More
I don't know, I mean,
personal,
actually she
yeah.
couldn't. text
I found out.
But I
last
do
week.
think, I
You
do
did- you
think it
just
was
found
in
out
the
last week too.
newspaper.
I knew Austin Riggs reached out to the town, say
Yes.
what was
That
happening.
was the article.
And we all knew about that because that's when we were talking about, because I put in for the recommendation for the finance and selection at the town meeting for the $250,000. And that wasn't enough money to get it done. So that got turned down before the town meeting. Remember, me, you and Nikki decided to put a capital assets request for $250,000 to start working on Pine Street. That got turned down because that $250,000 wasn't enough money.
That was at the town, on the town warrant
It didn't make the town warrant.
through CPC?
No,
Or who did that go through to get approved to go on the town warrant?
it went through the finance committee
Finance
and they didn't
So they
approve it.
didn't approve it because it wasn't enough?
It wasn't enough and that they were concerned that it's not town property.
Oh,
I understand that.
well, again,
So the board has taken steps to try and do something with the
Yeah,
land. So we've tried
so then the
in the
finance,
past.
okay, so the finance committee. Again, I think I encourage you guys to like look up Article 97 of the Massachusetts Constitution. It's very easy to read. It's
Yeah.
simple. I can even read it right now.
No, don't.
It's like literally
Nothing personal.
It's literally a paragraph, but you can read it.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
look it
think,
up.
I think that the finance committee needs to look at that. The select board needs to look at that. I mean, there needs to be green space. There's a board for green space, isn't there? And
Yes, Laura Dubster's on that. Or I might be saying her last name wrong.
She's in the,
She's something green.
yeah, but I think it's different.
Oh, it's-
Communities.
Yeah,
thank
Green
you.
communities.
You're saying something. Thank you. I mean,
Is that Laura?
Laura's in the green, yeah.
so I mean, I think I would propose that we have like a special committee for this, just to figure this out
A
because.
subcommittee
A
from our committee?
subcommittee, yeah, to do this. I mean, we should be working with other boards on this decision. I mean, open space and green space and all of those things are important, right?
Yeah,
we
Absolutely.
have legal duties to preserve open space and park space, like all of these
But
boards.
does that include private property?
Yeah, all of it. It's all, if it's been used and leased for the purpose of a public park for as long as it has been, yes, it triggers something called Article 97, which is,
Okay.
yeah, so if we can't just expunge it, you
But
know.
first, we have to have an idea of what it's gonna cost us to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I can work on a proposal.
Because
and
that's always,
I've already
I
been
think that
working on
money
it.
is always the big stopping point for everything.
Right, well, you know, if you look, honestly, when I was going through the town warrants, like I mean, I'd have to have a week just to look through this. But I circled so many things like, wow, this, you know, this money went here, this minute went here. We're obviously not prioritizing open space and parks. You know, there's money going to things that, you know, I would question as far as priorities go, but where are our priorities? And I feel like, you know, open space, parks is a protected priority that we legally is protected, that we need to protect. And that's why we're here. So, you know, I think, first of all, they should not be making a unilateral decision on it. I think
You
it
talk
has,
about the selectmen.
the select board, yeah, it has to be 2 or more boards and one of those
Well, there's
boards has
only
to be
2
us.
people on that select board. Can they actually make a decision right
Well,
now?
that's
Don't
another
ask
thing.
me.
I have no idea.
There's another legal challenge if they make a decision with not even a full board. I don't know. That's another
Well,
issue.
they
But
have
they're in
2 people.
quorum, so they can.
If they
Okay.
have 2 and they both agree,
Then
right?
it's fine. It does
Okay,
fine.
that's
Okay.
quorum, okay.
Well, yeah, I just think that we should be, that, first of all, I think it should be open to the town. It should be on a town vote.
Well, it is open to the town now for all their opinions and stuff, so.
Right, but if you get 50 responses, that doesn't represent, you know, the voice of the town, you know? If-
Well, those 50 people are the only ones
But
that.
that, first of all,
reached out.
well, legislatively, it has to be voted on by the state legislator, both houses. That's Article
So what
97.
is it that you want them to vote on?
Nothing. I don't think they should vote on anything
Not the
because,
select board, but I mean, like if you were to say ideally, what would you like to see? How would you like to see it going about?
I think they should follow the law and continue continue the lease of the park. I think, well, there is no.
To continue to lease the park.
Yeah, well, first of all, the
But we
lease
have
has
to
not
keep
been,
it up.
the lease, yeah, well, we should continue, we have been trying to keep it up. We've been allocating
Yeah.
money to the park. The question is why is it not getting prioritized to Pine Street? you know, it is our legal duty to prioritize Pine Street. This lease makes us more obligated to care for that park over Town Hall Park.
So tell
See, I
me,
disagree with that. I
Well-
think we should prioritize the parks that we own and can invest in and that won't be taken away in 45 years or however many
Because of
years.
this because of this legal lease, you know, and then which would trigger Article 97 if we just get rid of it.
I
we
think it was
almost have
easier
to.
when it was just a tennis court and a basketball court, because you're looking at one smooth section. When you start talking about our exercise equipment, now we're talking a whole nother layer of cement and a lot more building on it. We're talking about a playground, we're talking about a whole lot more.
I mean,
So
I
they
agree.
are
I
very-
personally
they're
love tennis.
expensive.
I'm a tennis player. I would love to see the
Yeah.
tennis courts go in and the basketball courts.
So
'cause-
maybe we need an either or. How much does it cost to keep up what's there and repair it and make it really usable and nice? Or how much does it cost to like
all these
go the other
things. Yeah.
avenue with our
I would
ultimate
love to
goals?
see those numbers.
Yeah,
I
I would
would
be
too,
curious.
but I need to get, you know, and I don't know anything about.
Well, first we have to find the contractors.
Yeah, I've already been working on a quote for the playground with the contractor and she just couldn't get it. She just couldn't
Is
get
she
it done
one of
before
them?
today.
The
No.
state approved one?
Yes, she is.
Oh,
she
well, then
is.
there you
Yeah,
go.
she is. Yeah, that I know. But as far as tennis courts, I don't know.
It's hard to get them to call back.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
imagine.
hard. I've been on the phone with the pickleball courts and it's very hard to get them to call back.
Yeah, I think we should, you know, we need to open up our search to like other parts of the state, you know, have.
As long
there's
as they're
more
approved,
options.
right?
Yeah, they have to be on
Legally
an approved list. I don't know what the approved list for tennis is. I know playgrounds, but I don't know tennis.
I mean,
courts.
to think that it was $60,000 to put in one pickleball court almost knocked me off my feet, frankly.
Well, apparently it's almost $60,000 just to resurface the tennis court, not
Just to
even.
resurface, right? I
Yeah.
know, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
used
that
to
was
dealing
2
with
years
these
ago.
figures.
Yeah.
So I think we need to find the list of the contractors, that would be A, and then to call them both up and ask them, A, how much does it cost to do this? You know how much it costs
The
to
other
do the
thing is
playground.
too, is like.
And you know how much it costs to do the exercise equipment. So then we can sit down with facts and figures and actually say.
Here's
what
another
works out.
question for you, Katie, too, is if now that we're part of OSRP,
Well, we have to get it voted on by select board and then have meetings and do a public survey. There's so many steps in it.
Wow.
so
So it's, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I don't know, I mean, it'd probably take a few months, but,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
right now, if we could negotiate with Riggs to, if we could just clean it up at least enough to make it not a liability, like mow it, for example, and fix a couple cracks or anything that could be a literal legal liability for them, just to buy some time until OSRP kicks in, that's gonna open up a ton of money for us.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
So then,
Is that
we
maybe
wouldn't be
money?
spending,
That's-
we wouldn't have to come up with 400, you know, whatever, $200,000 to do a park. That would open up a lot more funding, right? So if our goal as a board is to try to preserve as much open space in parks as we should, we could maybe negotiate something with Riggs to buy us a little extra time, make some patches here and there for anything, like if there's like a real hazard over there. I
And who
haven't,
does that? The highway department or
the
the
highway
the
department.
highway department?
You know,
Yeah.
like patch some holes or whatever
Yeah.
needs to happen.
They'll come and patch it
No,
up.
they usually have to hire somebody.
You have to hire somebody.
It's like with the sidewalks and all that stuff. They've hired out for all of that.
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's a big eyesore right now, like it's not even being mowed.
It is
Or-
ugly.
I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with Hugh leaving and everything. So I could call Christine and be like, hey, could you guys just go over there and mow it? I'll walk over there tomorrow and look at like any cracks or anything that would be I could do a walkthrough with Chauncey from Austin Riggs to see what his concerns are. And maybe we could just buy some time until OSRP kicks in, and then the whole money issue is not really an issue. We could do something amazing there.
With OSRP, are those grants written by the people who are on that committee?
So there's 2 grants. One is for open space, to conserve open space, and one is for playground development.
Oh.
So what you have to do, you have to form a committee, send out surveys.
Within the OSRP
So
committee?
say if there's 20
Or-
people in the town that wants to be on this subcommittee, those 20 people get together,
Yeah.
kind of say what our goals and objectives are, send a survey based out on that, give it a little bit of time for people to respond to the surveys. And then from those survey answers, that's what you go. So say if everybody wants to redo Bidwell Park,
Okay,
So that's what you have to do because the survey,
And that's when you write the grant,
That's when
after
you
you
write-
get your survey.
yeah, after the survey is when you
So the
write your
survey
grant.
would say, we're thinking of doing A
Yeah.
and we're thinking of doing B, and
And
we'd like
there's-
to do
yeah.
A, B, and C.
And then you have to fill out the objective of
Okay.
it, the cost, you have
Well,
to
so we
find.
need the cost of what it
So we could
is.
put together a subcommittee under our OSRP, involve the green board,
Any planning board, conservation.
finance board.
Yep.
But first, we need
Whole-
information to give to them regarding what we want to do.
That comes from the survey responses.
So
Okay.
can we at least vote on as a board to make an effort, a good faith effort to try to save the park and maybe make a subcommittee under OSRP and try to find grant funding and available grant funding? You know, and maybe if we can negotiate, have an opportunity to.
I don't know if you could do that.
If we're looking
Negotiate.
for grant funding and we have to send out a survey, then the survey would dictate where we put the money from the grant.
What it would go to. So
Is that-
if
am I
most people want to
understanding
say, hey, let's give this land back, you have to listen to the people.
You have to listen to the.
Well, I don't consider a survey the same as a town vote. And legally, it would have to be a town.
You don't
vote.
need a town vote for the OSRP.
Okay,
grants.
so for the grant money, we
For
would.
the grant money.
Because it's a lot of money we're looking at.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that, like, again, you know, there's potentially a lot of money. I don't know, we already have money, but there's definitely a missing piece that needs to be fixed in terms of following through on where the money is being spent or where it's going and why it's not going.
Well, that should be pretty
projects.
black
You
and
just
white,
call Mike
right?
and ask.
Yeah, right. I
That's
mean,
all
I'm
it
sure
is.
if we have
Well,
a page on the treasurer's bookkeeping that says this is Parks and Rec and this is what they have incoming for.
So the treasurer has this information that the 23,000 was for the town hall courts.
uh-huh.
Both, and that the 47,500 was to the fencing. She wouldn't have why this was prioritized over the other things.
No, she only has black
She
and
only
white.
has the numbers. So if
Numbers.
you want the reasoning behind it, I don't know when Mike became town administrator, but look back to 2021, figure out who it was and see why they chose the fence first over the courts.
It was in 2021, you said, right?
That's when the
21.
$95,000 was approved.
21
So
and 23.
in that 3-year chunk is when the 95,000 was approved and when Paredes gave the proposal in 2023.
Wow.
So somewhere in those 3 years, somebody prioritized the fencing over the
Yeah,
tennis
the
courts.
fencing.
And yeah,
Well,
$47,000.
The fencing is important, but you know, I want to know why the basketball wasn't.
Yeah.
Basketball thing wasn't resurfaced, I guess, because when I talked to other members who were on that board, they said that they remembered a figure of $8,500 being allocated to resurface the basketball court. So the question is,
They remembered that from 2021?
yeah, they said it wasn't an exact figure, it was a ballpark.
That's pretty good. I don't know if
Yeah.
I could remember my taxes from.
it could have been, it
21,
wasn't.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, it could have been lots of reasons.
Could have
So
been
you
10,
just-
it could have been 6, but there's supposed to be still some money left from that
There is.
allocation.
I just think that, you know, I know like if we're talking the last 5 years, if there has to be a reason why there were certain things, at least regarding Pine Street, that were not followed through, whether it was, you know, the money was not prioritized to Pine Street based on board vote, I
I
don't
think
know.
I'd rather put my own energy into finding out who these contractors are and then giving them a call, finding out what we would like to ask the contractors and then calling them all up and we're sending them letters and saying we're looking for,
We have to get the list of, you know, I mean, depending
I'll get the
on
list.
the
I will go
project.
tomorrow.
The projects are gonna be different but we should just have more, you know, Michael should be making more of an effort to work with us on the procurement side of things. Cause if, you know, we want to see follow through on a project, we should be able to do that. I understand why he is helping with that because, you know, it's not like, you know, when you come onto a board, you might not have any experience with procurement.
That's
I happen
me.
to have a little bit,
I
but
don't
not.
have no procurement.
Yeah, so there's a reason why, but at the same time, and people too
And
should
he
get
handles the
involved.
budget for the whole town, so he has a
Yeah.
good idea of where the money is and how much there is left to do things. with.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, I think, yeah, and people who are on board should also try to work it out in terms of like figuring out, well, who do I need to call, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not sure what happened, but I'm gonna look into it. I just think that
Well,
we
you
should
can look
make an
into what
effort.
happened before. I will call and ask him for the contractors that we are allowed to use.
Yes, for
I
the
will call
basketball
that.
resurfacing,
Yes,
but
for is that what would, oh,
for the basketball
Do
court
it all.
resurfacing.
I would do it all, for
Or-
tennis and basketball.
Yeah, or any of them, you know, any
Yeah,
contractors
resurfacing.
we're
If you're
allowed
gonna
to use.
do it the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's Fact 45 contractors, but I don't, that's for playground equipment. It might be all under, Fact 45 is, I think, the name of the,
Well, I'm gonna ask him and he can tell me.
yeah.
And then
okay.
I'll get phone numbers
Yeah,
and then we can discuss whether and
So
what.
there's, I'll write this down, there is a website called Sourcewell. It is contractors, and then you type in either our zip code or Massachusetts, I forget which one. And those are already pre-approved, already
Oh.
bidded.
I don't have to ask Michael
Contract.
anything.
why didn't you just tell me that, like?
It just popped in my head because
Oh,
it's already
So
pre-approved.
we just put our, oh,
It's-
that's
And
perfect.
they're already pre-bidded through the state. So if
Oh,
they're on
see,
that list.
That's it.
That's
You
what
are
I-
a
it
wealth
just
of
clicked- It just
information.
clicked with me.
that's what I needed was that, yeah.
Well, we don't need to talk to
So,
Michael
yeah,
anymore.
Sourcewell, and that's
Right?
how I
Am I
found
right?
Sport Court.
We don't have to talk to Michael
Well,
now?
no, I mean, he's the one that cuts the checks, so
Well,
we have to.
we're not asking him to cut a check. We're just trying
No,
to
but
get
like
some information.
if I wanna hire, we should have, okay, so our board has the legal jurisdiction to make a decision on like, to get bids and
Yeah.
then to pick one, right? To pick whoever.
You have to pick the lowest one.
Yeah,
If it's a
absolutely.
bid, but Sourcewell already does the bidding.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Well, that's
Yeah,
even easier.
so then, yeah, we should just be able to call them or, you know, do that, right?
Go
And
online.
then say, this is who I
It's
found,
just
this is who I
online.
wanna use, let's get, you know, let's do this.
Do you want to do that to Sourcewell or do you want me to do it?
It's a website. You can
Yeah,
just go on
anybody can
and.
do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do
I'll
it.
do that for the basketball court, and then I will try to get Cindy to help.
Do,
to fix.
well, I need square footage to get a contractor who's pouring cement. They generally need
Oh, they
some
need all
square
that
footage.
information.
That's the
Ay,
other
ay,
thing
ay.
is, yeah, so how do we, so Sourcewell, can I use them for finding out who to, you know, like if we're gonna do tennis courts, how are we gonna?
Yeah.
I can use them for.
And then they
doing
come out and
excavation.
what they do, so this is what Sports Court did with me. I found
Yes.
them on this. I did my research and then they just happened, they're the ones that actually told me about this website.
Okay,
So they came out and walked around with me, did like the measurements.
perfect.
They put the flags down so I can call dig safe to see if it was
You call
okay.
too?
Dig safe, because any digging you have to call dig
Oh,
safe.
dig safe.
Yeah, to make sure there's no wires.
Okay.
And then when I was doing that, they went back and gave me a quote.
Love it. Okay.
So I can call them about, doing excavation for,
Yeah, so if it's a good company, they'll do it from start to finish. So say if it could be anybody, they should give you an all-inclusive price from the minute that the first shovel hits to
completion.
completion.
Yeah.
And so they find the contract, so they do the bidding process for you.
All those companies on that are already bidded through the state.
Does that mean
So
they'll
you still
give
have
us
to get three
individual
quotes?
bids?
No,
You still have to get 3 quotes through them?
double check on that, but they already went through the bidding process.
Oh, there we go. This is public information. We don't even have to.
Double
It's like
check with
anything.
Mike on that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, okay, so before I do all that work though, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm gonna send this letter to them and I think, I personally think from this conversation, we're gonna need some more time to, dig into some other things and put together some proposals to figure out, you know, I just think that we should make a good faith effort in the very least to our constituents that elected us to keep as much parks and open rec space as possible.
I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Yeah.
I
well,
really don't. I don't think any, but I do think that there is, it's sort of, I look at it from my own life. Money, it dictates what I can and can't do. And I think that if there's X amount of dollars, you can only do so much. Where will it do the most amount of good? And when they took that $95,000 and they stretched it between 4 places, you didn't have any one good place that was finished. So
I mean,
I
I
think
think
it really comes down to dollars and cents. Let's find out how much it costs to do a tennis court and basketball court that's there and make it perfect. Or how much would it cost to do the other things that we would like to do, the ADA playground and the exercise world? The exercise.
Yeah, I mean, that's
equipment.
just for Pine Street, but if you wanted to like, in terms of like, you know, if you're talking about whether to allocate money to, again, for we had this discussion earlier about, Town Hall
playground?
Park, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, either way, it's gonna cost $200,000 or more to do a playground there. And we could still get, ADA grant funding, OSRP funding for this park.
Right.
Or we could put a year and have 3 parks and keep our 3 parks, right? I'm just saying that there is a duty, statutory duty to keep as much space available as possible for the public,
Mhm.
right? And to me, money wise, it's gonna cost the same amount to do a ADA, new playground here or one here. So I think, yeah, so that's the only point that I want us to leave here with, is that we have a duty elected in this position to maintain and keep as much open space in parks as possible. So, and then the money stuff,
I guess I
because.
thought open space and green was the other committees. I guess I
No,
really didn't
it's a-
get
it's a-
that. I
it's an
thought our
obligation of our part.
responsibility.
It's a, well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a parks department
It's a park.
commission. Yeah, it's part of our responsibility to keep as much.
But it isn't
parks-
ours. It's a rented thing.
No, it has been.
So
it's-
how
it
much
is-
do we
it
want
is
to put into it?
Legally, it's been ours for 50 years. We've been
Really?
we've
Well,
had
yeah,
this
I
park
know
for
that.
50
I know
years.
that, yeah.
We've been maintaining this park for 50 years. It might as well be us. Whether we own it or not, it's free. We're not paying to lease it.
Right.
So effectively, it is the same as us owning it. We just don't own it. And as far as like, and Austin Riggs is concerned, is that they just own the lease, and all they're retaining is the right to make sure that it's maintained. Right?
I'm wondering, was that leased, when that was leased, what existed at Bidwell?
It was still the tennis courts and stuff, but it was the school. So,
Oh, it was a school.
townspeople couldn't use it during
During
the
the daytime,
day
right.
and during the summer school when that was happening.
Oh,
So that was put in
right.
because the tennis courts here were school property.
And now that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I do want to use, I did get a couple of emails about using the baseball diamond this year. I was like, have you seen it? When's the last time you were here? And, but I guess, the Great Barrington Baseball League is kind of expanding quite a bit, and they're trying to find other spaces. I was like,
They
hey,
used to play here.
yeah, they did. And it haven't in a while, obviously, but I said, hey, if you guys want to use it, let me know. I mean, I could probably, it'd be a few $100s to get new bases and to paint the,
Yeah.
thing. I don't think we need a
Wonderful.
fence.
I'd love to see kids in our parks.
Yeah, me too,
I want to
exactly.
see kids. I miss the school
Yeah,
here.
me too.
I
I mean.
really do. I miss the school. My kid went to school here and it was great.
That's
The
awesome.
town school, but that was then and this is now. And I didn't realize that the history of getting that was because we couldn't use this as a resident in the daytime. I completely
Oh, I didn't
forgot
know
all that. Yeah.
I didn't
So
know
that's why we got that in the first place, is because
We
we
couldn't,
couldn't
yeah,
use this.
the Austin Riggs patients and staff couldn't use it. So that's
Exactly.
why
So
they
they
leased up the
offered it to
land
us
for
to
us
do
to put a
that.
tennis court in so
But
they
now
can use
times have
it.
changed and there
Oh.
is no school here.
There is one little clause in this lease that I.
Which makes me go back to well, why do we want to put more money into that? We should just make this perfect because
This is something that, I don't know if you noticed this, reading the lease.
I didn't see the
Katie.
lease.
Mhm.
Is the lease in my papers? Without some
Could I
papers.
make I don't know if I made a copy for everyone. I could just, I'll share.
I have a copy of the lease.
I don't have
Somewhere.
papers. Can I just
You
see
want
it? Yeah, I don't think I need to keep
Order
it,
Sure.
Have it, I'll give it to you.
Oh, thanks.
I should be at source for the tenant.
From 1970.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. There was something about the, something that was the
Change of
responsibility of
use.
the landlord, not the
Change of
tenant.
use.
Where
Shall
is it
not
there?
assign this lease alteration or not make alterations on the premises without their consent in writing. Oh,
It says property, hold on,
Yeah.
it's on a different.
so we have to actually
We have to
say,
ask.
we have to ask them if they want to have things that we think are important. They might
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attached to, I mean, they've never really asked to be
Separate
part of it.
It
I
is
mean,
in the
but
lease,
They're
though.
welcome to,
But it
Well,
is
yeah.
in there.
but they can come to the board
Yeah.
meetings, just like anyone else. Here, construction by landlord. Landlord shall construct at its own assessed and expense the facilities noted on the plan marked B attached here too. It is understood that the present fencing and tennis court equipment of the tenant at its tennis courts on Main Street may be utilized by the landlord in the construction of said tennis courts in said area, provided that the assessed removal of such equipment and placing of fencing are to be borne by the landlord. Does that make
Where are you
sense?
reading that at?
Somewhere down here.
On this page
And
here?
It's
then-
under
the
the
flip.
construction by landlord
Flip this
section.
over?
I think it's right there.
Construction by landlord. So,
Oh.
so section B,
Landlord.
plan mark B, I didn't print out the
Own
map.
cost of
Oh, here's,
facilities.
I don't know if this is,
That's B.
Where's B?
Right there.
this is B?
Yeah, B.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a
say they
picture.
can- They just say they can use it.
Oh, but those are houses there, aren't they?
The whole diagram is B.
Oh, the whole thing is B.
Yeah, that's all plan
Okay.
B. That's
So
the
then-
plan.
So then, okay, I'm gonna read this again. Let me know what you think, but it sounds to me like, aren't they responsible for the tennis courts? Landlord shall, I'm like, I wanted to say that because
That would solve a lot.
I
Certainly would.
I know, that would solve the problem. Landlord shall construct at its own cess and expense the facilities noted on the plan marked B attached here too. It is understood that the present fencing and tennis court equipment of the tenant at its tennis courts on Main Street, which is here, right? May be utilized by the landlord, meaning they can use our Main Street parks,
Yeah.
obviously, in the construction of said tennis courts and said area, provided that the cost removal of such equipment and placing of fencing are to be borne by the landlord. Landlord
Why did
agrees.
we buy the fence?
But I wonder if it's under the maintaining part that we're responsible for the maintenance and everything.
Well, the maintenance, but that doesn't involve equipment. Landlord agrees to begin the aforesaid construction as soon after signing of this indenture as weather permits and will proceed within. So I'm wondering if they put in the tennis courts that are now defunct and tenant has obtained the necessary permits for such construction. I think, can you bring this up to town council?
I will. Yeah.
That one section,
You
because
see it? It
it
was
sounds to me, and I'm not a lawyer, it sounds to me like there's some,
this.
like, we're responsible for maintaining it, but maybe it's because maybe they bore the expense of building it initially and we're responsible for maintaining the original equipment.
I'll ask.
Ask about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, so I hope we can,
Yeah, it says the landlord is responsible for this.
right, well, yeah, it's like, well, it sounds to me like they might
But
have,
we need
they
the
might have
permits.
built it. They might have originally built the tennis courts and basketball court in the
Upon
70s.
completion of the work of landlord, tenant shall take good care of the premises and equipment thereon, and shall at its own cost
There.
and expense make all repairs, alteration, and replacements,
Oh,
Okay.
Yep.
so,
which
yeah.
may at any time become necessary.
Yeah.
That's comes back to us.
yeah,
They did
Okay.
it, we have to maintain it.
yeah.
So then, I mean, obviously this was back in the 70s. I
Reasonable use.
wasn't alive yet. Not till 78, but, so it sounds like they built a park initially, put it all in, and then we just had to
And-
maintain it.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
That's,
So that
Well-
doesn't, it also says that if we want to change it, we gotta call them.
I just hope we can, like,
I don't know how much they
work,
would
do
be
some,
approved of a playground or of the equipment. They may want to keep it because for their people also use
Mhm.
this.
no, they.
Do they have
don't-
another tennis court?
No,
No?
they're not, they don't want to take back the park. It's just that they're having, there's a liability concern.
But they
And-
may want to keep it, just from reading that, they may want to keep it a tennis court. That's just what it looks like.
Mhm.
I don't think from my conversations with them, they didn't make any stipulations as to what they wanted or didn't.
So they don't care what we do with it,
I mean, they may have an opinion, but.
but we have to
I
get
think the-
approval.
Yeah, well,
We'll
I mean,
find out tomorrow after the select board meeting when people
I
can.
mean, should we even make a question to them that says?
I want it because we're not even
Not
close
right
to being
yet.
on the
Okay.
same page for anything.
All right, that's true.
but I think, can we at least commit to making a subcommittee for the OSRP for Pine Street?
We have to first create the OSRP and then to
Oh.
do, so
That's a little ways in
What
the
do we need to
future.
do to create the
you
OSRP?
have to have the select board make an announcement and then you have to have planning board, conservation, select, you have to
Get a person from each of those
those
lists,
boards.
and then the,
And then townspeople.
Private people.
Yeah,
right.
and
okay.
then set up the first agenda, first
Who sets
meeting.
that up, though?
I We can,
will.
I can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Can we do it for next month?
I'll tell them to put it on the next select board meeting to make the announcement, and then it'll probably take a little bit to get the participants, and then after that,
And that could take months before we'd have any money, and then you can't pour cement in November or December.
the money comes, they do it in the end of June, beginning of July is when applications go in, and then you don't find out for a
So
few
this would
months.
be a year
This will be,
next year.
Yeah.
Before we'd be able to put anything on.
yeah, but I wanted to get it done before May so that we
Yeah.
can apply for the June, July round.
Okay, I like this timeline. It makes it a little easier to understand.
Yeah. Okay, so I
Okay.
say let's table this.
Okay?
Let's keep working down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
geez, I forgot.
Yes, they're still.
Yeah, oh yeah, we got.
Can I, no, this I can keep your
Keep it
letter
all.
to select, board. Take it all, take it home.
Okay.
Okay.
Parks and Rec Community
The golf thing
Program.
was so easy.
Johanna,
What?
this
Oh,
is you.
oh, is this with the town beach?
No, community programming, the bonfire
Oh, yes,
nights.
the bonfires. Yeah, what do you guys think about that idea?
I like
Where did
it.
you want to put it?
Well, we've, last year they had, the fire department did a big bonfire. I think it was in the fall, or no, it was like around
They
October.
do, yeah, like a Halloweenish Ice Glen walk.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in decades.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe we could do one for the summer,
A
in
summer walk?
August. No, a summer bonfire.
Oh, a summer bonfire.
Yeah.
You know, they don't let you have fires until a certain time. There's a time you're allowed to have fires in Stockbridge. I don't know if that
If
applies
it's
to
in an open
this.
field, I don't know. I mean, if we call the
Mine's
fire
in an open
department.
field. They wouldn't let me have a permit,
Yeah.
not until,
I'll ask Vinny if,
yeah.
what we're allowed to
Maybe this is
do.
special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because maybe if it's.
That
would be
in town-
We could
terrific.
do like, August s'mores type of thing.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that would be
I
really
love that.
fun. I'm trying to think what else we can do.
It's just
for-
been so, when
Have you
it's dry,
tried
they're
to
always.
do it at
Hey,
the
what about
town
your,
beach?
when is your, thing gonna be done
The
here?
pavilion?
Yeah.
The first third down payment went in 2 weeks ago, so then it takes about 6 weeks for them to do the design. And then it ships after that, and however long it takes to ship up from Pennsylvania. And then when we get a new highway person that's also a licensed contractor,
Oh.
they will put it together with the team.
Is the licensed contractor part of the job requirement?
I think so, because
That's good.
they have to be able to pull permits.
Yeah.
Yep.
So wait,
Oh, my
so
goodness.
that's not gonna happen in.
I'm hoping,
August?
I'm hoping the fall is when it's up and running.
Okay, bummer. Well, we can call Vinny and see if we can do a bonfire down at the field.
Yeah.
The field being over Park Street.
Yeah, Park Street.
So back in the day when my daughter was younger and she's 45, so it was a long time ago, they had the bonfire across the street at Park Street. And the fire department had to come because it got so big. I have pictures of that.
Oh my God,
It got
that's
so
cute.
big.
Wow.
The wood was piled higher than us. It was about 10 feet tall, like this.
Cool.
Oh my God, it was so cool. But unfortunately, the wind picked up the sparks and blew them across the street towards the gas station. And that was not cool. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had to come
Well,
and
I
they
would,
had to-
we'd have to.
We'll have
coordinate
the
with them.
fire department there
Yeah.
if they
Oh,
let us.
yeah.
Yep.
So do you guys have any other ideas as far as like entertainment I can like track down, maybe like try to, I don't know, we could have some other orgs or,
Oh, they have so much
Like
entertainment
musicians.
over at the Great Barrington Busk.
a busk,
I
yes.
know, I
Busk,
want to
and
do
they have a
something like
list
that.
of
They do?
everybody,
Oh,
yes.
okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And they had,
Busk.
and they had people walking on stilts, they had
Mhm.
circus entertainers.
BUSK?
Yes,
Yeah.
BUSK.
Okay,
You just have to be
Very-
careful because our budget, like
Oh,
the lines that we can touch, it can't go to salaries.
Right, right.
So a lot of these things are funded by like the banks or like
Yeah,
local
yeah, yeah.
businesses.
yeah.
So let me talk to Mike and Erica and see
I
if we
didn't know
wanted to
couldn't play
do,
salaries.
yeah, if you wanted to do things like this,
Yeah.
how we could get the money to do
Right.
that.
I think the library in Lennox does Terry LaBerry and the kids love it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's so much
My
fun.
son loved her.
Yes, him.
Him? Oh,
Him.
it's a guy?
It's a
Oh,
guy,
who am I
Terry
thinking of?
LaBerry, but he played with two women.
Oh, because there was a woman that used to go to the Lennox Library. I forget her name now. I thought it was Terry. Maybe she was working.
There
under
was
him.
there's Wanda, Winstead, Houston?
Houston?
Houston.
Houston,
Yeah, she
yes,
plays
that
in
sounds
Lennox also.
Yeah,
Okay, I must be thinking of her.
Yeah,
so the Chamber of Commerce
Oh,
pays
Terry,
them.
they pay them,
Yeah.
yeah, the chamber.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm just
You
curious.
might want to work with the chamber on this because they're allowed to
And they're happy
pay
with us right now
salaries. Yeah.
because of the whole putting the
For the bonfire, you mean?
pickleball back
For
a week.
anything, any kind
Okay.
of community programs, one, I
Yeah.
think we probably should include them because their
Yeah.
whole spiel is community programming.
I
Great.
So
love
maybe
that.
we can collab with them to do something in the fall. I am working with them right now as a council aging position.
Yeah.
Because at Heaton Court for I call them my big kids there. They wanted all the kids to come up before because a lot of them can't walk down to see the kids in the parade.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
last
yeah.
year we did our first annual trunk or treat. And we had about 50 kids that went up there in their
Oh, that's
costumes
wonderful.
and we did face painting and the police were there to give them goodies and we did cider
Pretty cool.
stations and, you know, trunk and stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm working with them again this year. And
so that's Halloween.
that's Halloween night this year, actually.
Oh,
Um,
and now, if you do the
That'll be
Ice
fun.
Glen Walk, what time
it
of
wouldn't
year?
be, that's,
you do that?
I don't know what time that usually
It's
is.
during the same time that the Pumpkin Fest,
Oh, okay.
The Pumpkin Fest
the
in.
pumpkin up in
Nampke?
Nampke,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so the fall time.
Yeah,
But what I'm working on with Barbara and Wendy, is if the pavilion is up and running, instead of stopping and having everything at the library, having everything in the park and then doing a projection down off of the pavilion and play Charlie Brown's The Great Pumpkin.
oh, that's
Oh, that'd be
terrific.
And then, because back in the day, they used to end at the front of the town hall.
Yes,
And then it moved to the
and
library
they had a costume party inside, costume judging
in,
inside.
in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if we
Sounds
can
like-
bring that back if the
Yeah, that would be
pavilion is
great.
up.
The
That
kids
would be
loved
So, and
it.
then maybe we
Parents
can
loved it.
tag on that and do a
Yeah.
park and rec bonfire that night too or something.
It could all be one
Yes.
joyous night.
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Let's
So
do
like
that.
things like that, I would
I
like to
like
get
that.
more involved in the community
That's a
events.
great one. I would love to do anything I can for that.
Yeah.
So who should I talk to from the Chamber of Commerce about doing one in August?
Barbara.
Barbara
Zanetti.
Zanetti.
Zanetti, Barbara Zanetti. Okay.
Her email is info@chamber something. It should pop up through your email because a lot of our
I've been
contacts.
in there, haven't gotten a call back. But yeah, hopefully I can get back in there.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Now,
Well, I think that'd be
Town
fun.
beach house improvements.
Yeah, so Johanna proposed an outdoor shower.
Oh,
And I chatted with, his name is Peter Urgaro. He is the president of the Mackinac Water Supply, and they're who we contact with to get our water at the beach house turned on and off.
oh, okay.
He's fine with the idea.
Uh-huh.
I asked if there's reoccurring costs. He said no, because it's a well and it's not monitored.
Oh, how about that?
Um,
So it's just the cost of the shower?
The shower and the labor.
What about like if we put in like a coin-op heater to heat the water? What do you think, Bob?
A
Let's
coin
get
op
prices
heater.
and yeah.
Yeah, like just to heat the water, so you know, it's
Like
not
a
cold.
campground.
It's not well, yeah, it's not well cold. The only thing that he requested, which I totally agree with, is a way to either have it on a set timer, so it's turns off like
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock at night, so there's no leaking, because it could dry the wells up, because that Mackinac Water Supplies, Mackinac Heights, Mackinac Shores, and the Maid Road there.
So we don't want to use rainwater. We're going to use specific.
It would be the
well
well water, and we can just tie it into the plumbing, so we'll need to call Van Zandt to get a price on how much it would cost to hook up the
Mhm.
water to that. But we do have to, if that's a thing, only once in the last 10 years, we've had a drought restriction.
Right.
So we have to just kind of follow those protocols, which is easy. So if there's a way that we can maybe have an on-off shut-off in the garage part that
Well, what
only,
about the timer?
a timer would be
A
perfect.
timer would be
Yeah.
really just take care of that right on the
Yeah.
bat. Tie
Is
it
that
on
a
the
thing?
timer.
Can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, I was
They have them
thinking,
at campgrounds.
Oh, okay.
yeah, like if it's coin op, if they wanted to do like a warm water, they'd get like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever they needed to 5 minutes
Yeah.
to do it. So that would, I think that operates on a
Who
timer, or
uses
do you
the
need
shower?
a shut off
Who
timer?
actually would use the shower? The
Families,
kayak?
Like kids, like,
Oh, the little
like
kids.
to wash their feet off and stuff before
Wash
they
their
get in the
feet off.
car.
Just like wash off, I mean, like a lot of the city people, but also, you know, sometimes depending on when you go, there's like a lot of seaweed or whatever you want to call it.
It depends on when the
Weeds.
harvester is up and running and,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like one parent came up to me, where I was talking to him at the beach, and he's like, oh, it'll be really great if we had outdoor showers. He's like, I've got 5 kids, and like, by the time we get home and everybody gets changed and showered and everything, it's like 10 o'clock at night, you know, when they start doing the whole after dinner thing and everybody's exhausted.
Mhm.
So I just thought that would, if it doesn't cost too much money, we could just put it in one.
Yeah, and I like that there was no reoccurring costs, so then
Yeah,
we don't
I
have to
like
plan
that too.
out. So do you want to take this on, Johanna, or do you want me to make phone calls? I'm more than happy to get a hold of Van Zan and maybe walk with Justin to see what because obviously you need like the wood, like.
Gotcha. I'd love
Outdoor
to go with
shower
you when
box.
you do it. I'm just kind of curious. I haven't been on the beach for decades,
Oh,
absolute decades.
You haven't?
you
No,
should go.
I went once with my
You have
granddaughter.
to go.
I
It's
went
so
once with my
pretty.
granddaughter and it was
And this year we're supposed to get rid of the
pleasant.
Phragmites, or at least chop them down and
oh, nice.
pray that they die.
So
But
just,
I don't use the beach.
It's so pretty. I love
I know it is pretty. I love how it looks, but I don't use it. But I'd be glad to help do something.
it.
just, for the sake of just trying to, speaking in the spirit of following through on things, maybe I will, do this.
Absolutely.
I may ask you, who to call, or whatever.
Van Zant Plumbing, they're the ones that always fixes our leaks and all that stuff. So
And they
there
would be
are,
putting in the water hookup?
they would be connecting. So they're a plumbing company.
Okay.
Who would put up the actual, surround?
That's a good question. Hopefully the new DPW superintendent that has a contracting license would be
So
able
the
to do
surround
that.
isn't going to be inside anything. It's going to be an outdoor thing.
I would think, I'm picturing like an outdoor one stall.
Yeah.
With a
Two
little
shower
latch.
The door.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
like a pine, something that looks nice with a door and a latch.
yeah, okay.
Like
Easy peasy.
big
But
enough
it's
to fit
close.
in like maybe like,
A few kids.
parents and a couple kids.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe a little bench for them to put
Yeah.
their stuff on.
Yeah, with a bench.
With
Maybe
their
like on
dry
the left
towel.
side by like the driveway that goes down or something.
Yeah, or like, right, you know how like the garage door and there's like that space on the left?
Yeah, right. That
There
would
would
work
be
too.
perfect.
So you
And
don't
then-
take them in your car dirty.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I love nothing more than to take the sand out of my car.
Yes, and then Mackinac Water Supply, would I have to call them?
He was fine with it and, all they do is turn it on in the spring and then turn it off on October 20th. That's all they do with it.
They just
They don't
turn
do
the water
the,
on?
they don't do
They
any
would just have to
metering.
know to do that though, to put it on their
It's the whole
schedule.
thing.
Oh, it's
They,
the
they already
whole
know.
thing.
They've done it
already know.
every year.
So really, we don't have to contact them for anything.
Nope, and they
We
like
just
did.
need the plumber and the build the
Yeah,
the surround.
And then if this does go through and we do it, which I like the
So what would
idea.
this cost? Do you have any idea?
Nope, that's, Johanna's gonna,
Joanna's gonna find
I'll
out.
look at,
Okay,
yeah, look into
great.
it. I'll see what. yeah.
Terrific.
Do we have it? What's going on with our DPW? Like, who's taking care of maintenance right now? Because I did get a couple calls about, the beach.
the goose
So-
coop, it's still the boys at the water.
Are you still doing it?
I do it every third week. The boys do it at 5:30 in the morning before they go in. So that's a lot of time from 5:30 to whenever people get there at 8 or 9 in the morning. I
Yeah,
do
it's all
it at,
back.
I do it
Yeah.
about 7 in the morning. If I go to work at 8 or if I'm not working in the morning, I do it at 8. So then the geese don't have as much time to come back when people start showing up. But there's only, unless you have somebody standing there getting like scaring the geese, they're
Yeah.
gonna come back.
I need a
But I
dog.
left a little,
I know,
We
right,
need a dog.
something. I know.
I brought my dog once
Beach
because
dog.
a bear was there one morning. So
Oh,
I turned
lovely.
around, went and got my dog and came back.
Another, well, speaking on the top of the,
I'd be more scared for my dog.
Yeah, but I left a little pail and rake there. So if they
Oh,
do
okay.
come back, somebody can just do it quickly.
this person did ask if they, if we left it out, maybe
Yeah.
they could do it.
I did it. I brought it out that day.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Cause the other thing is like, I was gonna ask, could we have a set, like, could we have people do it a couple times a day, like early and then later, or not really?
We don't have it in the
It'd have
budget.
to be
Money.
volunteers. It'd have to be volunteers,
Yeah, we
right?
don't have it in the
But if we
budget.
leave the bucket in the rake out, I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
You do that.
I mean, I would do it as a mom if I didn't do it.
I never
In
knew there was
general.
a bucket and rake out there.
Yeah, well,
I
now there
would have
is.
done it,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, this.
it's just right under the lifeguard stand with all the toys.
No way to
that-
get rid of those geese.
No, it's,
No way.
it's their habitat.
That's
Yeah.
where they live.
It's their but they don't go in the grass with the new spray that's being sprayed.
That's wonderful.
The grape stuff, is that working?
We switched to a new thing that works even better
Lovely.
and it lasts a few rainstorms.
Not toxic?
It's non-toxic. Yep, babies can crawl in it.
And then one other question as far as town beach
Mhm.
improvements. One of these other projects that I guess money was allocated to, I don't know if it was in the same year, 2021, but somewhere between 2021 in 2024, I'll say. I think it was voted on before I came on, but there was a discussion about money that was allocated to take out the invasive plants at the beach and to replace them with natives.
Oh, that was me, and we're working on it now. So in the fall, we cut down, so this fall, we're gonna cut down the Phragmites.
Okay,
And that was CPC money.
okay.
So not our budget, but CPC money.
How'd you get the CPC money?
It was part of a proposal that Roxanne put in when she was selectman. And that had to do with like if we wanted to move the kayak dock and do all that stuff. So in that grant, it was taking out the invasive species and replanting, stabilizing native plants. So in the fall, when they start to slowly die, you cut them down, you mow over them for a few weeks. And I wanted to do it in the fall because I didn't want it to look ugly in the summer. And then you buy this one thick mat that kills the roots and you let that sit over the winter. And then you go in the spring with a backhoe and dig some
How
of it
big is
up.
that mat?
It's thick
No,
because
but I mean, how space?
we have to order it to fit the
Wow,
size.
a whole big.
Can we reuse it?
Yeah, it's plastic.
Okay, and we just keep it in the garage?
Yeah, because it takes about 3 years to kill the Phragmites that way.
Yeah.
Because the only really way to kill them is chemicals and
don't want to do
conservation obviously did not approve
No.
chemicals in the water, which I do not blame them at all. So that is on the plan for the fall to do that. And then in the spring, we'll plant the,
And you go in there and physically do that?
I'll do it because I like to do that
I don't know
stuff.
when
But
you sleep.
DPW, no, but
I really don't know when you sleep,
I'll help
girl.
you do it, just let me know when
Wow.
you're doing it.
because a lot of people said they would come and help and have
Oh,
a
really?
community day.
That's great.
Yeah, so Jim will have his mower to help mow them down and then you put
Jim,
he's the guy you see, he's DPW. He's the gentleman that rides on the lawnmower that you see
oh,
everywhere.
yeah, I see him. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, so
Great.
he'll help me keep mowing over them before the first snowfall when we put down the mat.
So who should we call, or who do we call? Just call Christine if we have maintenance things going on that we.
Yeah, I just had a meeting with her. We went through her to-do list is getting done and it looks great. And she asked me if there was something she's missing and I said, not to my
Oh,
knowledge.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Weren't we getting benches, or what was happening with the benches?
We never approved to spend money on the benches, so what was happening was I forgot who.
Chessboard, we're getting a chess.
Yeah, the
people.
chessboards, that just went in this week for that, so those should
And we're
be
getting the
shipping.
gazebo.
Right, but we were gonna have, when, before you came on, Katie, we had, Nicole had, was gonna work with Hugh on making these concrete benches, but
Yeah,
obviously.
Hugh did not have time because he was too busy, so he asked us if we, before I started, just to order benches.
Order benches.
So that might have been before you were there.
Somebody wanted to dedicate a bench.
Yeah, so that's
So
still
maybe we
happening.
can have that bench dedicated down here.
Yeah,
And why not?
well, she wanted it at,
Wants to add, right?
Averick because that's where they went with
Oh,
their family.
okay,
So how
sure.
much of the budget do we have left for right now? Is it the 38,752?
So right now, because the only thing I have gotten out of this budget, but I know DPW just did all the wood chips. I don't know if that hit this
Is the
year.
money for the backboard in there? There wouldn't be,
So that will come out of this this budget that I have, which is it is 21,450 is what we have. But just remember DPW, all their wood chips and mulch comes out of that, which is expensive, and any repairs to lawn
I
mowers.
think we were saying about $130, $140 for the
Yeah.
backboard altogether. And when I asked Christine if she
Didn't I bump
had
it up
the
to
paint,
300 just so
you might
that,
have, yeah.
just so that you can just get it done and if there's
But
leftover
somebody has
money,
to
you just
pick
don't.
it up.
Dressel
I
Hall
can't carry
delivers.
it. I mean, but when they deliver, where do they deliver
Well,
to?
they'll just do it at Main Street or DPW and then
And
they
then,
can paint
do they
it.
have the paint? Because she didn't. When I went to see her, she was overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'll
And,
ask about the paint.
and I asked her about the color, the paint that they used for the streets,
Yeah.
because I said
There's
that
two
was.
different colors.
Yes, there are. I told her we wanted the lime green, the bright one.
The bright one.
Yeah, the bright
Yay!
one.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I'll put the lines on it and I would paint it too if they have the paint, just,
Yeah,
you know,
I'll
to get
ask
it
her
done.
if there's paint. and
but
if
somebody
not,
has
we'll
to
just
put
buy
it up, and putting it up is not
The
that
boys can
simple.
do it. We have
Yeah.
college kids that are here and
Really?
Justin is
And they know how to
fantastic.
do all this.
Oh, God,
great.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question, thank you for getting the lime green, woohoo, I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. For posterity's sake, so, you know, so that if we have issues in the future,
Uh-huh.
like we're having now, when we're listing the report, can we have, where it says site improvements?
Mhm.
Can we start to itemize things under that, like where the money's going exactly to which
Oh, great.
project?
You just ask Erica.
Erica can do
Yeah,
that?
so what happens, so say if Christine puts in $500 for mulch, and that's just a made up number because it's way
Sure.
more than that. She'll put in an invoice and then it takes a week for the vendor to get paid. And then you can ask for a list of what company got what money, and then you're just like, oh, the mulch people got mulch.
Gotcha.
So you can go in and ask Erica, like, what do I have left in this and where has that money gone?
But like from when we do, oh, do I have to ask her for a separate report like that, an expense report or something?
Yeah, it's part of a, like it comes out in an Excel sheet.
Does she already have those, for
Can I just
example,
look
for
at
the
that?
last few years, do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
That would be a good question.
Departments spend.
For my COA, I had, it doesn't tell who I paid, but it says on this date, I had checks cut for this amount, this amount, this amount. And then in my bookkeepings, I know that I paid the yoga instructor, the foot nurse and this much, and somebody else those much. So I can figure out what I paid to who just because of my bookkeepings. I don't know if Erica would be able to say exactly who she should. I
Yeah.
would call Erica.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's the nicest person.
She's so sweet.
I've ever talked to.
Yeah, no,
Like,
she is. She's so sweet.
She's so sweet. Christine's really nice too.
Everybody's super sweet.
Yeah. Okay, because I just feel like, you know, going forward, having these things itemized on our budget would be
Purchase
helpful.
equipment is the 21 and mulch and a lot of things.
So, yeah, no, so the subtotal expenses is 2145
Oh,
or
oh,
50.
and our,
And then this, this is the final because that includes salaries.
oh,
So this is what we kind of have to work with, but we
it's
have to be
21,
mindful.
because the rest is salary.
That's salary, so that's salary plus this.
Okay.
But all of these,
Yeah.
Christine and the boys, so say if,
What is special needs recreation?
that got moved into a different line.
Okay.
So in the last like 5 or 10 years.
What is a special need recreation?
It's just if we wanted to buy something that's ADA
Oh, how
How
acceptable.
much do we
Okay.
have? Just $200?
It used to be 300 that nobody has touched that line in the
So
last.
can't buy anything.
Yeah, that was,
We need to allocate more money. to
yeah, so
that.
that's why that got moved into either
Does
site
it
or
roll
purchase.
over if it's not used or no?
It goes into free cash.
Into free.
And that's how
cash.
you get your capital projects. It's free cash.
Oh, gotcha.
So all the money that all the boards and
All of the
departments
boards
didn't
Didn't
use
use
goes
into free.
into free cash, and that's
Free
where our
cash,
capital
yeah.
projects money comes from. So that's the pickleball court, that's the new police cruiser, that's the new DPW truck,
A lot of extra money.
a lot of fire
That's a lot of
department.
extra money. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you look at the town budget, oh my gosh, it's staggering, like $14 million.
I know, and we're just a little town.
Of course, a lot goes out, but still.
Just a little
it's
town.
like,
I mean, there's really how many full-time residents
So
here?
it's like when people cry,
1,300.
like, we don't have any money, it's like, yeah, that's not true. Have you looked at the town budget? It's ridiculous, it's a lot. You know, and we have low taxes here, so.
We do have low taxes.
So
we
let me
have
ask you, I will call Jessie to ask her about the trees
Yeah, if you want to just kind of get her.
and see what is
opinion.
a native trees for, over here
Mhm.
for Park Street.
Yep.
And then do I call Michael still or do we not?
Can you?
I
Just
can
ask them,
call
like,
him.
say, hey, like, you know.
But if we have this other
Oh, right, yes,
resource,
the source
it
well.
seemed like it's just,
Yeah, I'll look
why
that
even
up.
talk to him if we don't have to bother him?
Mhm.
Not that I'm
True.
afraid to bother Michael, but he seems always very busy.
Yeah, that's true, I'll look up this Sourcewell.
So
thing
just, I
first.
think we should just look
Yeah.
up Sourcewell and leave him out of it until we actually
Yeah.
have a question.
But I think, do you want to call and see where or why, like, the fence was prior, like, whose decision it was to prioritize the
Maybe they read
fence?
the lease and
It-
said, we have to do a fence.
No, I don't think
I
there's
don't know.
anything in the lease. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely, I definitely will call and find that out. In fact, if they're gonna be discussing it, do you know if they have it on the agenda tomorrow?
It's on the agenda,
So,
but it's not, from what I understand, reading the agenda, there's no vote tomorrow. It's just to get input or something.
okay.
I could be totally wrong. Nobody quote me.
Okay, well, I mean, I could just bring up the question tomorrow and just be like, you know, hey, like, I'm just curious, why did that get prioritized?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If that was a board decision or a
Parks and Rec.
something, and, or maybe we didn't have even close to the amount of money for one project, so they were like, oh, these three things will be on, it could have been anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can ask, like, why can't we just do the research in the
I
basketball
can't
court?
believe that in 1970, I completely forgot about that whole thing, that you couldn't use this equipment
Yep.
because of the
There's a
school.
school.
And then I remember when they
so you
put up the fence.
Yeah, you
No,
couldn't
you could
use the
not in the
tennis
town.
court, so
You couldn't come up
Town
here if you
park?
had children.
yeah, the playground, the swings or anything when school was in session, including after school and before
Public couldn't
school.
use it.
The public couldn't use it, so
Okay,
that's,
to the kids.
And then they
because
put a
you couldn't-
fence in, they
Yep.
put a fence in at one
Yep.
point. That
They-
was when Chris was here.
yep,
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, so that's why
Yeah, that
the
was.
town.
That's why we got this.
That's why the lease is a thing, because
Nineteen
officers
seventy, of
wanted
course, right,
their patients and employees to be able to use a tennis court.
right.
So they lease the land to us for us to maintain and,
See, when I
Rebuild.
think about that, then it makes me lean towards just fixing the tennis court, keeping it open space, but putting the equipment over here.
Well, I mean, I
Because
would
now
love to
you
see
can-
the tennis court go back.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would, honestly, I would, if I had, if I could have my way and have everything I wanted in the world, I would put new tennis courts back there. I
Yeah.
would finish reseal the basketball court, because I love basketball. I
Yeah.
put my mural up.
Let's
And we could
reseal the
build an
basketball
amazing
courts.
playground here. That's what I would like to
think
do.
I like that
But I don't
plan.
want to let go of this
Well,
part.
that's not letting
You know.
go though. By putting the tennis courts and the basketball court, we're not letting it go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think discussion is whether we're gonna keep it or not, and that's what's firing me up, is like, I wanna keep it.
Mhm.
'Cause I do wanna see the tennis
Yeah.
courts go back there.
Well, in order to keep it, we gotta let these people know we have a plan that we're working on. And to have a plan, we have to be able to say, we have this much
Numbers.
money.
You need the
And we're
numbers.
going to repair the tennis courts and the basketball courts and make a beautiful mural on the backboard. And it's gonna cost this much money and this is what we wanna do with it.
Yeah, I just think it would be easier to convince people if we said, hey, we've got this, we're gonna be funding an OSRP. It's gonna take a while, but if we can just kind of put things on hold, we can maintain it to make it look nice and at least
I think
keep out
the
any
on hold
hazards.
part is the tough one. that
Yeah, but I
you-
mean, everything in the town takes a long time.
Yes,
it
anyway,
does take
does.
a long time.
You know?
It'd take
especially
another
when
year
lots
before we
of
can get
money.
everything.
It's grants, it's the grants filing and stuff that takes a
Yeah.
long
Everything
time.
takes forever, and I think in the very least, in the meantime, we could go over there, do a walkthrough with Riggs and with Christine from DPW and us, we can go over there and just look at what are the real hazards.
I'd like to go over and see it too. I haven't
Yeah.
been there in years. Where do I park?
On Main Street and walk.
Yeah.
If you guys wanted to do that,
I
we
would
would
like to do
have to post a meeting saying
Oh.
we're gonna, which is fine.
Yeah.
So say
Yeah.
if we say a
Need
Tuesday
2
at,
days.
you need 48 hours, so you have to
Okay.
post what time you're gonna be at the park.
Okay,
And then that way, if anybody, it gives people the 48 hours who wants to join to be able to join.
I'm at pickleball every day till 11, anytime after
Can
11.
we do that this weekend?
Weekend.
Given the urgency
It's
of
gonna rain
everything?
on Sunday and I'm gonna be
I'm
in
away.
Albany on Saturday.
I'm away this weekend.
Sorry,
How about next week, Monday?
Monday, and my whole
Can
July.
you do Tuesday after pickleball?
I can do after pickleball most of those days without looking at the calendar. Nick, my husband keeps saying I gotta put it on my phone.
Yeah,
Um,
Tuesday, I could do at 4:30.
Okay, 4:30?
Christine,
4:30.
they get out at 4.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I could try to do 4. I can get out of work a little early. I
4
just gotta pick
o'clock?
up my son. Actually, I gotta pick up my son from camp at 3:15, so I could do
Yeah.
3:30. If that works.
Well,
for
we
you
should wait
guys.
till 4 because she wants to
Or
do it
4.
after work or during
Well,
work.
Christine would probably want to do it at work.
At work.
At
So
work,
3:00. Or you have to pick up 3:15?
3:15, yeah.
Where do you pick them up?
Right at the congregational church.
So 3:15 works,
Yeah, we could do 3:15.
and that way she's still on the clock.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
And that way, and that's Monday or Tuesday.
it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Without looking at the calendar, it's really bold.
I would have to leave at like 3:30 because I work Tuesday nights.
Oh, you
Okay,
do? Wait,
But,
you have
but
another job?
I do.
goodness.
I don't know. She does an awful lot.
So if I'm just there to say hi and then you guys
How
can,
long could it take to walk up across the tennis court?
No.
Right?
It's not a
Should
very
only
big
take
park.
15 minutes.
or I can even do it with Christine during the day and then,
And then you and I can do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But because you guys will be in a quorum, we would have to post it as a meeting because it's, and then it would be open.
Do we
meeting.
only have to be, are we
Can you-
never allowed to talk to each other without
We
posting?
can't discuss.
You can't just,
Because we
we
can't
can
discuss.
share agenda items to add to the agenda or send each other documents or say, hey, like the goose poop, like.
Right.
Or come up with, like, if somebody gives you a complaint, oh, like, we have to put this, we have to either fix this immediately or put it on the next week.
But we can't go to there and just look at it and say nothing. We can just walk through it and look at it.
Well, if Katie puts it on the
Then you can talk.
calendar, then
Then
we can talk. Yeah.
Okay.
So would you be able to?
All right,
do
let's
that
put
for
it
us?
on the agenda.
Yeah, so
3:15
3:15 Tuesday, I'll check with
Tuesday.
Christine first.
And
Say
if we
Pine
have
Street
a
walkthrough or
Yep.
something,
Yeah, and then you meet at 3:15 at Pine Street.
Pine Street. Get better write it down so I don't forget.
Tuesday, yeah. And then, yeah, and then hopefully, like, yeah, we can just, at least in the interim, just mitigate the risk factors for Austin rigs. Maybe they won't, do anything as long as we can take care of, like, if there's any trip hazards or anything like that for now.
It could just be a sign that says no trespassing until,
I mean, I want to shut down the park because there are people that are using it right now, like, believe it or not. I mean, we have new backboards there and some
Yeah.
people don't care about the cracks in the basketball court or the handball, but yeah, I don't want to shut down the park. I just think we should definitely take care of just make it look nice. And then just sort of, if there are any major hazards, maybe we could have them patched up really fast.
Well,
or easy.
our first step is the walkthrough.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our first
and
step.
Christine will be able to tell you what the boys can and cannot do.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'll ask her about my backboard here, but I don't even want to put it up until after everything else is up.
Oh, right.
Does that make sense?
You can do
I
it
want to see
whenever.
where the gate is, where the gate that goes through the pickleball to the tennis. Isn't there going to be a walkthrough?
It's pickleball courts here. There's gonna be 8 feet of grass so that Jim can get
Oh.
his mower in.
Uh-huh.
And then the fence stays as the fence.
Oh, it stays right there.
Yeah, nothing's changing with the tennis courts.
And would we want the backboard to ruin the view of the tennis courts and put it on the side of the main street or maybe the opposite side so it doesn't?
So you can figure that out when
Yeah,
we're about to put it up to
Okay.
see what looks best.
okay.
When are we
Alright.
breaking ground on that again? August?
August 18th.
18th.
Yep, right after,
It's my daughter's birthday.
oh yay, right after the craft fair.
Craft fair, yeah.
Very awesome.
Yep.
And I was gonna say, I have another, with the exercise thing, I have another proposal, but I did like the one he did.
Mhm.
Just curious what the price differences are.
Yeah, let's add it to the next agenda.
Because the same contractor who does the playground also does those. I'm just curious
nice.
how did the price difference.
I would love to see different prices.
I did like even the annoying, like, what is it? What is that insurance company? Blue Cross Blue Shield, I kind of liked that. Because it kind of reminds me of the city. If you ever go to Boston and, you see those parks that they have, those kinds of like huge,
Mhm.
whatever things on, but it looked
Sponsors,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, the price was a little crazy, but I don't know, for all I know.
Except
they're
that they
all-
said they would get us a
they're all
lot of grants.
They do a lot of grants on their
Yeah.
end, and then OSRP grants can cover some of that, and
Yeah.
capital projects and
We got to
CPC.
see
You
what.
can dip into a
Can
lot
we
of different
make
ones.
A lot of grant requests, one for ADA, one for.
You can, yeah,
Yeah, and
Oh,
one
there's so
for.
much.
there's so
grants.
many.
So many grants. Well, yeah, like public health.
Yep.
These are public health grants, ADA grants.
Yeah, I can go after senior grants. I can fit into a senior program, I can get
Yeah.
AARP and all those kind of
Oh,
grants
I
too.
love that. AARP has
Yeah,
grants.
they actually did the exercise, like a little, like those little independent ones up in Dalton's, I think,
Oh.
their senior center.
There's one
There's
here
senior
in
center. I
Lee.
used to live down the street from there,
Is
but
that, am I thinking the right town? Right now, there's
Dalton?
like,
they have these like
like a
little
stair-
exercise machines outside.
that was funded by AARP
I
grants.
love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So different things like that, you can,
The other option of like having the exercise area at Pine Street, I was thinking was heat and court. They could just walk down there and come right back. right? It'd be really easy for them to get up
A
and
lot of
down.
them can't walk up and down it.
Oh, they can't? Oh, so what about the ones that can? What-
My girlfriend who works for Lee in the school, I have several in the school system for the town. And I asked them about, because they put one in behind the high school. And I asked them who uses it and they said mostly the students.
Yeah.
It's
it's a high
mostly the
school
students who use it.
Well, because it's on the
women.
high school property, so people can't use it
Well,
during
there
high
you
school
go.
hours.
That's
Oh,
true. I forgot about
That's
that.
true,
Yep.
That's true.
That's
But I
right.
do see like a lot of young people going to the gym,
Mhm.
like Berkshire South, there's a lot of young people at the gym. They would totally love to go, I'm sure, to a free park and
Oh, absolutely.
exercise.
so.
Yeah, somebody made a comment about that we need more stuff for teens to do. And that was another, maybe I'll put this on the next agenda, but just kind of throwing it out there of like maybe working with Railroad Youth Project on like maybe having a teen center here or some kind of space, I don't know, a space for teens. Do you have any ideas? I don't
I'm
know.
so far removed from
Yeah,
teenagers.
I gotta think about it.
Yeah,
But let's add it, think about it. We can add it to the next agenda.
yeah, give it some thought,
Yeah.
cause I'm not sure either. I was thinking maybe we could like, over the winter, I wanted to make more of an effort to open up the gym, just free, open.
Teach them how to
free gym.
juggle. They love juggling,
Yeah, and-
unicycling. Teach them how to do stuff.
Young people now, no, they are glued to their phones, so we have to
I
make
know.
it really interesting for them. Even like just a teen center, like a little space for them to come and hang out would be cool.
Yeah,
Um,
so we have the ping pong table in the gym.
Oh, and we know
stuff.
how they took
Yeah.
care of that.
yeah, like I wonder if,
I'm
I
so
actually,
resentful of those guys.
I actually haven't been down there before, like I don't even think I've been downstairs, other than into the gym area. I've been down to vote and stuff.
Yeah.
The gym has never been opened.
The gym is on this floor.
It is on this floor?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no wonder.
And it's usually locked.
It is
The
really
people who
locked.
use it have a code.
Yeah.
And,
Should
you
we
know,
have that code? We should have that code.
I have the
You
code.
do?
I do.
What is it?
I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. I had a promise not to tell anybody.
It's for instructors only.
But it's
Yeah.
and isn't any and all recreational spaces under?
No, I don't think so.
No,
This is
the
a
gym
town
isn't.
building and
Yeah.
I go under elder services where how I got in the door.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call Terry and find out. I'm
Yeah.
wondering.
Cause I'll tell you, I don't, I
No,
feel
no, no, no.
guilty.
No, don't feel guilty. No, if you can't, you can. I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm just curious, cause yeah, I would do like some open gym hours in the winter for kids to run around and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, little kids.
Mhm.
I remember having littles.
Just need parents.
I brought my
supervision.
grandchildren
Yeah,
in while I was
definitely.
removing something for pickleball and they just ran back and forth and back and forth. And they had fun for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, kids now are different, but yeah, I definitely want to do more steps, so we'll talk about it.
It is 7:20.
Okay, it is 7:20. I am ending the meeting.
Oh, Yes.